Style your kitchen at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or at friedmansappliance.com.
That's because their defense leaks like a sieve.
What are you talking about? Don't you remember the postseason?
Your team's got a solid defense, but what about yours? If you're done having kids, it's time to take the final step. Try Valley Vasectomy. No more birth control fails, no more pregnancy scares. Just freedom, fun, and peace of mind. The procedure
didn't say to Ant. So the question is, how do you think he's responded over these last 40 hours or so since that game?
Well, he's always responded well to any time that he's not played well or been challenged to play better or understands what the team needs from him. As far as calling him out, it was really responding to a question about his energy and his kind of start to that game, and you could see he just didn't have the same energy, and then he was bothered by the missed shots. So but there's so much more that he can bring to us than just putting the ball in the basket.
I think everybody knows the 3-point shooting numbers last game. Game 5 against the Lakers, but it really goes back to Game 2 against LA. The team has not shot the ball particularly well from deep, which is uncharacteristic. Are there any magic words to be said to try to instill some confidence and make these shots go down? It's really up to the guys to step up and knock them down.
Well, I think it's generating those shots consistently over and over again, which largely we've been able to do. And guys got to stay confident, and we don't make too much of a big thing. I do feel like we maybe could get up more shots in practice, and so we've tried to address that. Just get more shots up in our player development.
Chris Finch along with me. We get set for Game 2, Wolves and Warriors. Defensively, were the two main things that jumped out to you, maybe guarding the three-point line a little bit better. They got 25 wide-open looks, and that defensive glass where they got 18 offensive rebounds.
Well, offensive rebounds for sure. I thought overall their pace of play was fast, like from one end to the other, and then again in the half court, they ran around a lot. We were coming off a series where the Lakers didn't really move a lot. It was more of a spread you out series. We knew that this was going to be the case. Off ball was going to be key, and we just weren't kind of up for that speed. I mean, that caught us a little by surprise when we saw it in the flesh, and it carried over not just through the possession, but also on the glass. They beat us to every 50-50 ball and offensive rebound.
Without Steph Curry, does Jaden McDaniels slide over to be the primary defender on Buddy Hield, who we talked about as a big factor in the series?
Well, he can guard Hield, he can guard Butler, he can guard Draymond Green, and we can do a lot more things right now too. So I'm sure he's going to be employed in a variety of ways.
Without Steph, does the mentality, obviously the game plan changes because you don't have to defend him out there and account for him, but boy, the way they played the 2.5 quarters without him, do you have to assume that's the way they're going to play kind of going forward?
No doubt about it. Defensively they're going to get a little bit better because they can put better defenders out there, and particularly employ those against Anthony. And then you're going to play through those two guys, Green and Butler, and it's going to be their playmaking that's going to decide what happens for them offensively.
Wolves and Warriors, Game 2 coming up. Coach, as always, appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Chris Finch, back to you.
Thank you, Chris Finch, for the insight leading up to tip-off here tonight as Game 2 of the Western Conference Semifinals between the Wolves and Warriors is coming your way right after this with Alan Horton and Jim Peterson on the call. That's coming your way in just a moment here on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Hello, this is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Now through June 2nd, we have a great selection of Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, and more.
Right, your summer starts here. I'm a pet sitter, and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas.
Stop, Master, and Goldie is not dinner.
Right, your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go, please.
The Timberwolves face adversity, trailing in a series for the first time, and trailing because Golden State's defense dominated the Timberwolves in Game 1 as the Warriors held Minnesota to their lowest offensive rating in the 88 games they've played this season, both regular and postseason. It was a performance that had head coach Chris Finch mystified, as he told us on the tip-off show here tonight.
Yeah, I didn't recognize that team I was watching. It was not who we've been for a long, long time. Felt like We were out there just playing a regular season game and just weren't really executing anything that we had talked about at a high level, if at all. I'm not going to say that we didn't play hard. I thought we played hard, but we didn't play with the intentionality that we needed to. We certainly didn't execute the game plan, and we weren't sharp. And some fundamentals like spacing and were really poor on offense. So I don't really know where it all came from, and maybe it was a bit of rust. It's not who we've been, and I don't expect us to be that tonight.
And we'll see how that increased focus, effort, energy combines tonight with the Warriors team taking the floor without Steph Curry for the first time this postseason. He'll miss at least the next 3 games with a strained left hamstring that he hurt in the second quarter of Game 1. Golden State played exceptionally without him, leaning on Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. But can it continue? One of the big questions heading into Game 2 tonight. Here's Steph Curry after shoot-around today.
This is the great vibe in our locker room in terms of them trying to hold the fort down. We have a lot of confidence that we can still win the series, and guys step up no matter how it looks, and they understand the task. We all are in it together, and I love the feedback I got from my guys of understanding what the challenge is. And hopefully things work out where I can come back and we have a chance to keep doing something special. But injuries are always hard emotionally, just because none of this is guaranteed to be back in this environment or in the playoff experience and have an opportunity like that. So when you get hurt, you have to be intentional about what you focus on.
So really sad news that Steph Curry, Jim Peterson, might be out for the entire series. He'll at least, again, miss the next 3 games. He's only missed 12 postseason games in his career. You certainly want to face a team at their best, but for the Wolves, does it, beyond the fact that you don't have to worry about him on the floor, you still have to worry about a Warriors team that was really good without him. What are you looking at here for tonight?
It allows you to have Jaden McDaniels not have to chase him all over the floor, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Dante DiVincenzo and even Mike Conley for that matter. So it means that those guys will be more rested, but it changes the matchups because now Jaden McDaniels is going to slide over and guard Jimmy Butler, and the key is for him not getting foul trouble guarding Jimmy. Jimmy's a master at drawing fouls, and so Jaden's going to have to be aware of that, and then you got to still be aware of these guys that are still great shooters out there. Quentin Post gets the start tonight at the center position. He's a guy that can shoot threes. He's a 40% three-point shooter, and he's a rookie player, but he's not been a deer-in-the-headlights guy for them all season long, so he's going to get the start. Rudy has to guard him out there in the perimeter, Alan. And then I just think Buddy Hield, and I'm really concerned about Brandon Podziemski in this game. He's a guy, when Jimmy came on, he really helped Brandon Podziemski, and Jimmy's lifted all boats with this Warriors team. So Podziemski's one of those guys with step out who's going to try to do more, just like we've seen Nickeil do that when he's gotten a chance to start. So Brandon Podziemski is going to be a factor in this game.
Only shooting 33% from beyond the arc in the postseason. Podziemski hit 38% in the regular season. Jim mentioned that starting lineup with Steph Curry out. It will be Quentin Post at the 5. The forwards are Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. And in the backcourt, Buddy Hield, who is red hot and been red hot against the Wolves. It feels like almost every time he takes the floor against Minnesota. Hield and Podziemski in the backcourt. Timberwolves will start the way they've started every postseason game this series. Mike Conley and Anthony Edwards in the backcourt. Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert. Starting 5 for the Wolves. Just a +2 net rating in 71 minutes together. This Wolves starting 5 needs to get off to a good start, and the Wolves, I feel like, need to knock down a 3 early to get that lid off and maybe put what's happened to them the last 2 games behind them.
I completely agree with you. It's really important to get it out of their heads, because it's more mental than anything else. And I think that the 5-day layoff, there was some rust there for sure, and they've got their attention now. Minnesota needs to come out and have a great start here.
Opening tip controlled by Rudy Gobert, and the Wolves will bring it up here from left to right. They're in the icon midnight navy uniforms, tops and bottoms with the lake blue and frost white trim. Warriors in the association whites, tops and bottoms. Ant with it, running away from Hield. Left side of the lane, runs into Draymond, doubled, stripped, baseline, and turned over. No, it stepped out of bounds off a Hield. The Wolves will have it. 6 on the shot clock.
I'm really concerned about Minnesota also finishing at the rim. They missed a lot of layups last ball game. They missed threes, but they missed a ton of layups too.
Julius free throw line up fakes, moves to his right, sets up McDaniels, wing right, 3 on the way is good. Well, there's the early 3, and the Wolves lead 3-0. I thought Julius was kind of giving a hand grenade to Jaden there, but Jaden took the opportunity and knocked it down. From beyond the arc, just 32% this postseason for Jaden Pajemski. Missed the three long. Well, you were right. I mean, Pajemski's going to hunt those shots, and even though he's shooting 33% in the postseason, he will continue to fire away. Mike Smith's handled it a couple of times early on. He'll feed Randall wing right. Backs down Jimmy Butler, gets to the mid-post, turns middle, back out to Conley. The lefty will fire on the triple, and he'll hit! How about 2 for 2 after the Wolves go 12 for 76 over the last 2 games? Take that! 15.8% three-point percentage in Game 5 against the Lakers, and combined with what they did in Game 1. Here's Pajemski. Short drive now to the corner and heel, works against Conley. Backs him down, splits 2, lost the ball. Anthony Edwards scoops it up. Here's Zan on the run up the center of the floor. Gets by Pajemski, gets to the elbow, lobs it inside. Jaden throws down the alley-oop. It's a 8-0 Timberwolves burst to start the game, and Steve Kerr with an immediate timeout. How about that for a start to Game 2?
Love the fact that Julius Randle gets 2 assists right out of the box as well. Playing bully ball, getting it out, moving the basketball in Minnesota. It couldn't have been a better start for Chris Finch.
3 for 3 from the field. Wolves up 8-0. First time out comes 90 seconds into Game 2. You're listening to Minnesota Timberwolves basketball.
Hey Wolves fans, it's Rosie from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, your home comfort MVPs since 1930. Just like the Timberwolves bring the heat on the court, we keep your home in perfect condition all year long. We're proud to sponsor the Timberwolves this season. Let's go Wolves! Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Call or visit standardheating.com since 1930.
Hey Timberwolves fans, ready to score big with Wolves gear without breaking the bank? Let me introduce you to Sezzle and the Pay in 4 program. With Sezzle, you can split your payments into 4 easy, interest-free installments on all your Wolves purchases. From jerseys and hoodies to courtside seats, Sezzle has got you covered. Wherever you shop, however you rep the Wolves. Download the Sezzle app and get started today. Sezzle, the official jersey patch sponsor of the Timberwolves. Subject to approval, see terms and conditions at Sezzle.com.
When it comes to watching the game, it's always nice to sit and savor a delicious snack. And Jack Link's protein snacks always hits the shot. Jack Link's beef jerky is made with 100% beef that's simply seasoned in hardwood smoke to deliver a mouth-watering, flavorful, good source of protein, convenient snack. Jack Link's, the official protein snack of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Looking for a next-level way to bring your crew together? A Minnesota Lynx game is the perfect spot for your group. Whether it's a workouting, youth team night, birthday bash, or celebration, groups get discounted tickets, block seating, and a shout-out on the big screen, plus access to exclusive fan experiences like high-fiving the team, watching warm-ups, or even playing on the Lynx court. Don't just watch the action, be part of it. Lock in your group now at lynxbasketball.com/groups and make memories that last way past the final buzzer.
8-0. Timberwolves lead the Warriors here in Game 2, looking to tie this series up at a game apiece. The problems to the three-point shooting, which do go back further than just the last 2 games. Since Game 2 in the Lakers series opening round, the Wolves have shot just 25% from deep. Anthony Edwards was asked how the Wolves solved the three-point shooting problems.
Keep shooting. I mean, yeah, that's the name of the game. You can't worry about the last shot. You know, take the next one, shoot it with confidence. And I think we've been doing that. Like Jude said, I think we just didn't play well today. You know, people can try to blame whatever, blame whoever. Blame me. I just didn't play good enough. I don't know, man. You know, when you lose a game, it's always somebody got this, somebody got that. This is the reason you lost, and this is the reason. I don't really look at all that. I just look at every last one of us got to play better individually, including myself, and we'll see how it go. You can't blame. You know, it's a team game, man. You just got to play better individually and see what it do for us.
Anthony Edwards on the Wolves' three-point shooting, which Jim over the last 2 games has taken 76 shots. 38 of those have been wide open, so 50% of those shots are shots you covet. They just aren't going down.
Yeah, well, it's about really about them just getting confidence right now. And looks like they have it. Forced a miss there by Buddy Hield from the corner.
Wolves get it back. They bring it up. Here's Randall on the run. Banging away with post. Knocks him out of the way. Second time a hit. Now the step back. Comes up short. Rebound. Batted off Rudy. Off Pajemski. Out of bounds. Nice play by Rudy. He couldn't get both hands to it, so he got one to it. Couldn't secure it, so he just volleyballed it right off Pajemski's chest out of bounds.
I think
it's off his face. Even better.
Right off the mullet. He's got that long hair with the headband on. Joe Ingles was playing him in the warm-up here before these practices, wearing the headband just like Pajemski.
On the scout team.
My goodness.
And Rudy bully ball right through Pajemski, and this time gets called for the offensive foul.
Pajemski's got a lot of heart. You know, he doesn't play like a rookie player. Like this guy is, you know, he's got a lot of heart. A couple games into this playoff series, like you just realize that this guy has got the ability to pick up the slack for Steph Curry.
Hield with it right side. Here's Jimmy Butler, first touch at the offensive end. A left-handed dribble into the paint, stops on Jaden, pivots to his right, back to his left. Baseline turnaround, comes up short. Jaden might get a piece of it. Crowd enjoyed that. Here's Ant on the hunt up top of the key, now into the paint. Around Rudy, hangs in the air, kicks out to Randall left corner. Julius holds against Quentin Post, moves quickly on him, into the paint, out to McDaniels up top. Jaden down the left side of the lane, cut off and drops it back out. Randall around his back, works on Post to the mid-post, turns with the left hand, and hits! It's 10-0 Timberwolves on top of the Warriors. Warriors are 0 for 3 shooting with a turnover. Draymond into the paint to the corner, and Butler up top, it comes to Hield against Conley, right side post. Quentin Post looks back door for Pajemski, well covered by Ant. Now Hield with it on the right side, takes a run on Conley, mid-post right side, spins down the fall away. That rolls off, but he's 0 for 2. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Hield has had big games. Game 7 for the Warriors against Houston and Game 1 against the Timberwolves. Went for 33 in that Game 7. He had 23 the other night. Here's Ant feeding it to Randall, down the lane, runs it up with the left hand, counted a foul, and he just ran right through, over, trampling Buddy Hield. Randall for the free throw line for the N1. Good physical play there.
Really physical right now.
I don't even mind the offensive foul on Rudy because I think normally that would be a Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler type, and you'd have more resistance. I think he forgot or didn't realize it was Pajemski, who goes down like a cheap folding chair.
So, Gary Payton is second into the game, along with Moses Moody.
I thought Payton might start. That was my thought.
He's definitely the one that can guard Ant. He's the best option to guard Anthony Edwards.
Julius at the free throw line. Free throw is good. It's 13-0 Timberwolves on top.
Jaden just stuffing the stat sheet too, by the way, already. 1 block, 1 steal, an assist, and 5 points. Kind of doing everything here.
Tony Brothers calling a foul on Randall. Hounding Green coming up the floor. In Game 1, Ant was 3 of 4 shooting against Jimmy Butler. He was 2 of 4 against Draymond Green, 2 of 5 against Gary Payton, 1 of 5 against Buddy Hield, and 1 of 4 against Brandon Pajemski. So really, he did well against the guys you thought that might be the better defenders, and did poorly against the guys who aren't known for their defense.
Right.
This shot for Payton at the elbow. Wolves come away with the basketball. Here's Conley right side. Randall with it. Starts to back down Draymond. Cross court. Dangerous pass. Payton got the right hand to it and deflected it out of bounds.
I would say that going back and watching the video, that one of the things that the Warriors did so well in that Game 1 was they fanned back out the three-point shooters. They did a good job of rotating and getting back out contesting shots.
And that's where the Wolves focused on making, drive and kick, but make that extra pass. Here's Conley firing a 3. It's off the front rim and it trickles out of bounds far side. Golden State basketball. Like against the number, I think there was a big adjustment for the Wolves facing the Laker defense, making the jump to playing the #1 defense in the Warriors.
Exactly
the effort it takes offensively to find good shots. Moses Moody, wing left, guarded by Conley. Up top, it comes to Butler. Watched by McDaniels. Around the Pajemski screen. Brandon gets it back down the lane. Kicks out to Payton in the corner. 3-ball, no. The rebound tapped around the Wolves' control. They're up 13-0. We played just over 4 minutes here in the opening quarter. In off a high screen from Rudy Gobert. Bounce into Conley, who drives into the paint. Off to Rudy. Lost it. Deflected out of bounds off Payton. Wolves probably feel like they should have cashed in on that possession. I think right as Rudy was about to gather it, Payton came into the equation and knocked it free. 13-0. Golden State 0 for 6 shooting, including 0 of 4 from deep. Wolves 2 of 3 from long range to start this game. Inbound Rudy. 3-point line right wing. McDaniels up top, left side. And he's got it against Payton. Beats him off the dribble. Steps through on Draymond. Reverse layup. No, he couldn't get it to drop. Boy, he did all the hard work. Just couldn't get the finish. Right side, Butler. Here's the booze. Now to Podziemski. Right angle three. That's off the back iron. No, and the Wolves. Boy, they got hands for the rebound. Couldn't secure it. It's going to go out of bounds over by the Wolves bench. It'll be awarded to Golden State. Wolves want to be much more active on the defensive glass. They give up 18 offensive rebounds to the Warriors.
A lot of the 50-50 balls, and you and I were talking about that as it was happening in the game. Minnesota giving up multiple offensive rebounds to Golden State in game one, and they need to do a better job of really attacking the glass.
On the defensive glass and the three-point line, and boy, if the Wolves clean that up just a little bit, their defense overall was pretty good in that game one. They held the Warriors to 99 points. Payton a miss inside. He taps the rebound out to Green. Right side, Butler. He'll fire on a three and hit it.
And that's what happened in game one. I mean, they gave up offensive rebounds, and then it led to three-point makes, especially early on in that game.
Took 5 minutes for the Warriors to get on the scoreboard. It's 13-3. Randall pounds away on Butler. Down low in the block. Fades on the 8-footer outside of the lane by the time he let it go, and he came up short. Butler's got the rebound up on the right wing. Warriors going from right to left across your radio. Butler up fakes the three. Nobody's buying that. Now Butler gets it back. He'll work off the Draymond Green and pick. But Butler in the air, drops it back. Podziemski up top. Around the screen. Back to Butler. 4 to shoot. And poked it free. Rudy's got it. He's dribbling up in the front court. One man to beat. It's Butler who reaches in, pokes it free. Ant's got it, dropping it back for Rudy. Now Jaden on the run down the lane. Almost threw it away. Rudy able to control it, but his shot at the rim is off balance and offline. And the Warriors control. A missed opportunity in transition. Wolves have now missed their last 4 shots after starting the game 5 of 6. Here's Butler wing right off the Payton screen. That's illegal on picking off McDaniels, and Butler pulls up on the deep 2 and connects. He's got 5. The Timberwolves have 13. It's a 5-0 Golden State run.
Jimmy Butler is not a three-point shooter, but he's excellent in the mid-range.
In the postseason, down to 35% for the mid-range, but it's not so much the efficiency. I mean, he's just so methodical about the way he plays in a good way for Golden State. Rudy double, kick out, Randall. They move it right side. Here's Conley on the run. Poked free by Payton. Scooped up by Moses Moody. Moody 2-on-2. Into the paint, flares out, pulls up on the jump hook, and missed everything. Yikes. He didn't know what to do. And Chris Finch, sensing that the Wolves have missed 4 straight shots and had a turnover, he wants to call a timeout. Timberwolves up.
And he wants to get Naz and Dante in the game as well.
5:24 left to go in the opening quarter. It's 13-5.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves lead the Warriors in game 2 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
As a business owner, do you have a game plan in place to stay focused on safety and preventing claims? Let our team help support your business. Federated Insurance offers a customizable lineup of industry-specific coverages and risk management services to help you continue your winning streak. At Federated Mutual Insurance Company, it's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Alex Leibold here in our NBA Tonight studios for an out-of-town scoreboard update. This is the only game going on around the association currently, but let's take a look back at last night's action across the NBA playoffs. The Denver Nuggets, after winning Game 1 improbably, facing the Oklahoma City Thunder, the 1-seed Thunder come out and respond with a punch. They win 149-106, a 43-point win where they led by as much as 49 in the win. The Thunder set an NBA playoff record for points in the first half, scoring 87 in those first 24 minutes. Nuggets interim head coach, David Adelman said post-game that while the team needs to focus on Game 3, they also need to look at themselves individually.
Our whole focus as a group has to be about Game 3, yes, but what are you learning from Game 2? And as a team and at each individual in that room, taking a look at yourself and saying, what can I do better? Me looking at the tape, seeing what they did differently, and reacting the right way for our guys to get them more organized against things that we saw tonight.
Series tied at 1. It goes back to Denver tomorrow night at 9 p.m. in Denver. Let's head back into the Target Center with Alan and Jim.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. 13-5. Timberwolves jumped out to a 13-0 lead. Warriors have responded, a little 5-0 burst, but they've gotten after it defensively. After the Wolves started the game 5 of 6 shooting, they are now 0 for their last 4. Timberwolves had a 45-minute film session before practice yesterday. And Dante DiVincenzo leads off our sound bites here, followed by Jaden McDaniels and Mike Conley talking about how that film session was a wake-up call.
That's exactly what it was. Putting the film up on the board today. That's exactly what the feeling was across the board for everybody. Everybody in that room. There wasn't one person, I guess you would say, there was nobody safe in that room today. And we needed it. And we'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we messed up on a lot of game plan stuff defensively, and offensively I feel like we're just fighting the game, like making it hard on ourselves, like one-pass shots or like all of us taking turns trying to score on our man instead of just moving the ball. So, I mean, we just get back to the way we played the last couple games. I feel like we'll be all right.
I expect a response. We all felt like we played about as bad as we could. Give them credit, but we weren't there all the way. A lot of mental errors, a lot of mental mistakes, and a lot of things that we know we can change. So I think we'll be ready.
So far, so good in what Dante, Jaden, and Mike had to say there, that compilation of sound bites. The Wolves out of the timeout, get Naz and Dante into the game. DiVincenzo misses a left wing 3, but a loose ball foul as Rudy Gobert got tackled inside, and the foul will be charged to Moses Moody. Something that Chris Finch happened to mention yesterday after practice, about sending clips into the league about how they are just manhandling Rudy Gobert.
We were talking about it when it was happening in real time, how they were beating Rudy up on the glass, and there were plenty of opportunities for them to call fouls, and Rudy got called for one where Podziemski completely was fouling him before Rudy retaliated.
And we'll look for his first 3 of the night. He misses off the back iron, off the Rudy screen, but Dante has the offensive rebound. He dribbles back out, fires a 3, and misses this one long. And the Warriors have the rebound. Golden State on the 5-0 run. Pat Spencer into the game. He drives right to the cup, looking for the jam. He got rejected, but a whistle and a foul, says Tony Brothers, the crew chief. And Pat Spencer, the second-year guard out of Northwestern, will go to the free throw line for 2.
It's like a pretty good block by Jaden McDaniels. I mean, they're looking to see it. They're going to challenge this.
Chris Finch was just bent over at the knees, and his bench just popped up all in unison to challenge this call. Question is, to me, where did the imminent possession? It's going to probably.
For a foul on Gobert. The play has been challenged by Minnesota.
This will likely end up in a jump ball, but you save 2 potential points at the free throw line. So, not the highest of leverage situations. Also considering there's 4:44 left to go in the first. Wolves better be right. They missed their last 2 challenges.
And the foul was called on Gobert? They called the foul on Gobert?
That's what Tony Brothers just said. Oh, that's clean. Where's the possession?
I mean, it's a great block by Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy is in there to get like secondary contact. Jaden goes up and blocks it, but Rudy, I can't really tell if he fouled him or not.
I'm saying that's clean at the first look.
They really popped up. I mean, Jeff Newton, it really tapped Micah Nori on the shoulder, and then they went over because Finch was engaged in a conversation.
After review, there's no foul on the play.
Wow.
Therefore, the challenge is successful. It'll be a jump ball center circle, any team. Minnesota retains its right to challenge the rest of the game.
And they get their timeout back. 13-5. That was the voice of Tony Brothers, who's in his 31st year as an NBA official. He's the crew chief. He's had 208 playoff games under his belt.
I saw an interview with Tony Brothers saying that he really doesn't like basketball that much, that he wanted to be a judge and he wanted to be a referee, so he put the two together.
He looks like he could be a judge.
He does look like
that really fits. Exactly. He can leave any time, by the way. I mean, I'm not holding him to be an NBA ref.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Tyler,
it's a little harder to be a judge, though. I mean, you kind of have to be a lawyer and then kind of go through the process.
You got to know a lot of stuff. Tyler Ford, Brian Forte, round out the 3-man crew. Jump ball, the Wolves. Back tap it. Nas is able to save it far sideline. Dante's got it.
Well,
so good
score,
challenge. Yep,
yeah.
And you score. You save 2 points from the Pat Spencer free throws. Although he's just 1 for 1 in his NBA postseason career. And drives, draws a foul at the other end. Is Kevon Looney is into the game. He and Pat Spencer sandwiched Ant there. We'll see who they get the foul on. It'll go against Pat Spencer, and Ant will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Spencer had an impact in that last game, too. I mean, he was tough. Had a couple nice hoops, a couple hook shots inside.
11 minutes, 4 points, couple of rebounds. It was only a -2 in 11 minutes while Steve Kerr was going deep on his bench looking for productivity, and he got a little bit of that from Pat Spencer.
I mean, he's a lacrosse player. He played basketball at Northwestern for Chris Collins. That's a feather in his cap. That's a nice little fifth-year option to go to Northwestern and spend a year.
2 for 2 at the free throw line for Anthony Edwards. The lead is back up to double digits, 15-5. Spencer on a drive, left of the lane, throws it back out, stolen by Anthony Edwards. He leads a 2-on-1 break off to Dante. Now the trailer, Nas left wing, fires on the three. It's off the front rim, no. Dante tracking down the rebound, saves it in the corner. He out-hustled Jonathan Kuminga. Nas again, angle three is good. 18-5, the Timberwolves out to the 13-point lead with 4 to go here in the opening quarter. Hustle by Dante DiVincenzo made the play possible. Here's Kuminga running off a Looney screen right in the lane, throws it up, it gets rejected by DiVincenzo, but there was contact and a foul on Dante.
Dante just paying dividends here. The hustle plays, a couple offensive rebounds for Dante. He tracks down that 50-50 ball in the corner that led to the Nas Reed three. But he fired it out to Nas on the initial fast break situation where Nas got the open look, and immediately, Alan, Nas relocates from that left wing all the way over to the right slot. And good for him to be able to hustle like that, to do that.
Dante got the block, and then he and Kuminga went chest to chest, but they both end up smiling. They played together when Dante was in Golden State 2 years ago. First free throw, no for Kuminga. The second one is also in and out, no, and Nas has the rebound. Wolves up 18-5, 3:50 to go in the opening quarter. Along with Jim Peterson, I'm Alan Horton. Dante DiVincenzo, front court, left to right. Off to Ant, pressured by Gary Payton II. Now Ant runs away from Pat Spencer on the switch, drives it on Looney, double clutches, shot off the rim, no tip, follows up and in for the big man, Rudy Gobert. 20-5, the Timberwolves lead by 15, their largest lead of the game. Pat Spencer, wing left, tried to go to the corner. Moody says, kick it back out. Here's Kuminga, works on Ant, backing him down in the lane. The turnaround 8-footer is good. Kuminga's got that kind of ability, but he's been big-time inconsistent in his first 4 years. Here's Dante with it up top off the Gobert screen. Top of the key, drive, swings it over his shoulder. Nas, can he go 2 for 2? Missed it off the heel, no, but Dante's got another offensive rebound. Out to Ant, straight on the three, and he buries it. Again, Dante sets him up. 23-7, the Wolves lead by 16.
Doing all the intangibles, offensive rebounding, throwing out dimes for big-time three-point shots.
Kuminga off to Looney, right back to Jonathan up top. He'll work off the Looney screen again, drives in on Rudy, gets in the air and threw it away. Dante knocked it free. Nas has got it, 2-on-1 with McKeel. McKeel drives in, layup good. The run continues, 25-7. Timberwolves now 11, make it 12-2 to take the 18-point lead. Timeout, Steve Kerr. The Wolves have gotten off to an excellent start here tonight in Game 2, Jim Peterson. Something you touched on before the game off air, referencing the way OKC came out against Denver last night.
Yeah, it was just a great energy game by OKC, coming and blowing doors. And they realized that they gave up their home court advantage by losing to Denver in Game 1. Minnesota coming out here with a similar effort. How about the second chance points, though, for Minnesota here recently? I mean, 8-3 advantage already in that regard.
25-7, the score. Straight up 8 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
Butler.
Along with Jim Peterson, I'm Alan Horton. Our studio host tonight is Alex Leibold. Our engineer is Mike Weber. Our statisticians are Super Dave Hanlon and Mike Greenbaum. Our broadcast coordinator is Ben Haney. Our executive producer is Cal Soderquist. So glad you're along with us on our flagship here in the Twin Cities, 100.3 FM, KFAN, The Fan, the iHeartRadio app, the Timberwolves mobile app, the NBA app, SiriusXM, NBA Radio Channel 86, and over all across the Timberwolves radio network. This 12-2 run that the Wolves are on has coincided with one Mr. Jimmy Butler going to the bench. Steve Kerr obviously realizes that too. He's got him back on the floor with 2:36 left.
It's a good idea for Steve Kerr.
One of the 19 assistant coaches that the Warriors have, probably keeping track of that just like we are. Buddy Hield up top, straightaway three. Buddy's on board. First points of the night for Buddy Hield. Comes off that 33-point Game 7. He had 22 of his 24 in the second half of Game 1.
Just glad that Nikhil scored and Micah scored in this game.
Here's Ant taking a run on E. Santos down the lane. Again, missed the layup. Boy, that's 3 shots at the rim. He's come up empty each time.
7 layups last game as well.
2 minutes to go, opening quarter. 25-10 the count. Santos fires it off the Draymond Green wing right, guarded by Nikhil. Now Buddy Hield against Julius Randle. Up top to Butler. Butler guarded by Ant. Left side Santos. Bounce pass Pajemski down the lane. Layup good with the left hand. That's what Golden State is known for offensively. Their ball movement, especially their off-ball movement, and player movement. 25-12. Nas off the Dante screen, right back to DDV. Setting up Nas against Pajemski. Butler feinting on the double. Kick out cross court. He goes to Ant to the rim. He's not missing this. He jams it with 2 hands. Back up by 15 with 1:20 to go in the first. Pajemski crosses the timeline. E. Santos left wing against Nasri. To a cutting Pajemski again. Floater down the lane. He missed this one. Rebound tapped around. Julius controls. The hit to midcourt. It's Nas on the move against Buddy Hield. Stops at the 3-point line. Here's Julius Randle. Randle holding. Moves off at Nasri. Drives on Santos. Runs up the shot. It's blocked, but there was plenty of contact. Tyler Ford blows the whistle. He'll send Julius Randle to the free throw line. Julius did get to the free throw line 10 times in Game 1. He knocked down all 10.
Chris Finch is really hot right now. He did not like Brandon Pajemski getting wide open in the paint today a couple times, and he was really frustrated with Anthony Edwards and Nikhil Alexander-Walker when they came together, didn't switch properly. You got to stay alert. And going back and watching the video again, Alan, like you see the opportunities. Minnesota was lazy off ball a number of times. It's one of the things that was a big fear for them, the off ball cutting that Golden State does. He does not want to see that rear its ugly head here in this game.
And not to make excuses, but that is something you have to get accustomed to. And the Wolves didn't see a lot of that in the Lakers series. It was a completely different isolation and pick and roll game. Randle gets both free throws. He stays perfect at the line. The Wolves are up by 17 here, 29-12. Warriors bring it up here. Pajemski off the Draymond Green. Everything's just been much more difficult for the Warriors offensively tonight compared to Game 1. Santos off to Jimmy Butler. Butler into the paint on Nas. Kick out to Draymond Green. The 3-ball is good. Boy, Draymond hit 4 threes the other night, all in the first half. He didn't hit in the second half. But boy, you just feel like it's kind of house money if you're the Warriors and Draymond Green's knocking down threes. And a drive along the baseline feeds. Randle went up and got it knocked away. Warriors control. Hit ahead to Pajemski. He's falling out of bounds. He throws it to midcourt where Ant scoops it up. Edwards with it against Buddy Hield. Spin move in the paint. Now to the corner. Nikhil to the angle. It's Nas. Dante with it, back to the left side. Ant's relocated there. He pump fakes, now to Randle high post. Out to Nas, great ball movement. Nikhil pump fakes, moves to his left, fired the 3, and missed it long. Santos with a rebound. There's 3 seconds left, or 0.3 of a second left, and the 3-quarter court shot by Brandon Pajemski is well offline. What an opening quarter for the Timberwolves. 29 points. They only shoot 42%. They knock down 4 of 11 from deep, but their defense holds Golden State to just 15 points, their lowest output in a quarter in this series so far. After 1 here at Target Center, it's the Wolves 29. It's the Warriors 15 on the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
The NBA playoffs have arrived, and if you're not in the building, you're missing out.
Up top, and he'll take off down the lane. He'll throw it down with the right hand.
Feel the energy, ride the run. Grab your playoff tickets right now at Timberwolves.com/playoffs.
Incubus, live. Nice to know you. Performing the album Morning View in its entirety, plus the hits. Saturday, July 5th, the Treasure Island Amphitheater. With special guest, Manchester Orchestra. On sale now at TICasino.com. Don't miss Incubus performing Morning View in its entirety, plus the hits.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go a walk in the park with the new Ford Explorer. Become the MVP of the work site with the unrivaled performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America. Or discover what it really means to adventure in the great outdoors with a new Bronco Sport. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Based on calendar year total sales.
Searching for your next night out? The Lynx are bringing the energy all season long.
Here's Collier going to work again in the paint.
Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit lynxbasketball.com/tickets and get to our house for the biggest moments.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Good start for the Wolves through 12 minutes. They lead the Warriors 29-15. Steve Kerr beginning life without Steph Curry. Talked about that after game one.
You have to understand what it takes to win a game without your best player. And tonight was a good indication of that. Draymond and Loon and Jimmy led the way just with the leadership on the sidelines, talking to the guys, recognizing if you battle for every loose ball, every rebound. I mean, we got 18 offensive rebounds. We out-rebounded them 51-40. Their guys are all 6 inches taller than all of our guys, so it's about the intensity, the heart, the fight. And if you do that and you give yourself a chance, then you just find ways to score. We made 18 threes. And like I said, we had a lot of guys make big shots. Draymond, 4 threes in the first half. Gary made that huge three late to kind of stem the tide. So it's about defending, taking care of the ball, and just finding ways to score.
This coach won't be quiet. He just talks and talks and talks. No, Steve Kerr is one of the best. He's the absolute best. Wolves jumped out to a 13-0 lead in this game. They outscored the Warriors just 16-15 the final 8 minutes of that first quarter, 7 minutes of that first quarter. But a really good start has put them in a good position. And when you had that lead with the Wolves, when they found success in the regular season, winning 49 games, it was usually playing from ahead, having that margin of error, playing a little bit freer when you're playing with that advantage. Warriors have it right to left to begin the second quarter. Draymond Green gets run into by Buddy Hield. That can't be ideal. Here's Santos with it at the elbow. Back to Green. The second straight three. No, he misses off the back iron, and Julius Randle has the rebound. Here come the Wolves on the run. Julius with a head of steam to the free throw line. Kick out pass to Mike Conley. He'll take a runner from the elbow. That shot, no. Mike attacks the glass. He's got the offensive rebound. They move it to Randle, right side. He pump fakes a three. Buddy Hield still in front of him. Randle still with it, starts to back down Hield. Up top, Nas, left side, Nikhil. 3 on the shot clock. Nikhil on a drive to the cup, lays it in for 2. You mentioned this earlier, but Nikhil still hasn't hit a 3, but he's gotten a couple of buckets driving to the basket.
Just important for him to see the ball go through the net.
Here's Butler off the Draymond Green pick. Right side, drives all the way along the baseline. Out to Santos. Off the Buddy Hield screen, looks for Pajemski on the move. Top of the key, works on Nikhil. It threw up the shot, no, but he got whacked, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Jimmy Butler is such an unselfish player, but the way this game has developed so far, and I remember this back to the Jimmy Butler days with Minnesota, there are times, and if you're the Warriors, I think you wish he would be more of a score-first mentality, especially in a game like this where they're struggling to score.
Well, they are struggling to score, and he facilitated so well last ball game in the fourth quarter, particularly the 19 points that the Golden State Warriors scored. Jimmy either assisted or scored them himself. So he did a great job of facilitating. You think about it, Alan, the way that he was able to draw and kick on the baseline and draw and kick the defenders that Minnesota had on the floor. So, he does need to score. And, he did that in that play-in game. You think about that game against Memphis. He had 38 in that game.
Timberwolves, after one quarter, had a 132 offensive rating. The Warriors, a 71. Facing the zone defense here by the Warriors after the 2 free throws, making a 14-point Timberwolves lead. Randle with it up top, fakes the pass, drives on heels, drops it back out. Here's James stepping through in the lane, runs up the shot, it's short. Rebound hits the floor and scooped up by Buddy Hield. Now to Pajemski on the moves. Warriors looking to push. They flip it off to Hield, left side. He's cut off by Conley. Back out Pajemski. Pump fakes the three. Jaden stays on his feet. Now right side. They get it off to Draymond Green. And he turns and a rip move on Julius Randle. That will not result in free throws. Tony Brothers makes very clear, side to side. On that rip move, sideline out of bounds. Kevin Knox. Well, I'm excited to see how far Steve Kerr is going to go on his bench tonight.
Braxton Key as well.
Braxton Key is on the floor?
Yes.
What is my guy, Trace
Oh, no,
Jackson?
that's
No,
not
Jackson
Trace.
Davis.
Trace Jackson Davis is on the floor.
We're saving Braxton Key. Let's not get too excited.
I saw
Trace
the two.
Jackson Davis, who we talked about, I thought played pretty well in some games against the Wolves in the regular season. Pajemski couldn't get the shot, but the rebound comes down. Kevin Knox with it. Out to Pajemski up top. Jackson Davis sets the screen. Pajemski top of the key. Out of Draymond. Jimmy Butler's off the floor. He'll drop it for Buddy Hield. Buddy with one on the shot clock. Does he realize it? Nope. Shot clock violation.
Another shot clock violation. Minnesota had draw 6 of those against Golden State in game 1.
And some of those were kind of in the fourth quarter where Steve Kerr even said that's not the worst thing in the world to bleed the clock down and make it at least a turnover, a dead ball situation. But still, that's 7 in the series. That's a really good number for the Wolves defense. Nikhil cross court. Here's Jaden McDaniels. Takes a run on Jackson Davis. Kicks it back out. Here's Mike Conley up top. Right side to Jaden. Couple of dribbles into the paint. Off to Rudy. Goes up. Draws the contact. Free throws coming up for the big man. And for the first time, really, Draymond Green protesting a call. Comes over to Brian Forte, who's in his 18th season. The Wolves are 2-2 when they've seen Brian Forte. They've seen all 3 of these officials already in this postseason. Tony Brothers did game 3 here at Target Center against LA. That was a Wolves win. And the Wolves saw Tyler Ford and Brian Forte in game 1 at LA. That was also a Wolves win. So 3-0 already in the postseason with these 3 officials. That's your liking?
I do like that a lot. I mean, I thought we had a pretty good refereeing crew last ball game as well, and that didn't work out so well for Minnesota.
That's a good point.
Does it get much better than Zach Zarba in the lineup with your team? Who else do we have? James Williams? Was he partner? It wasn't James Williams. I'm going to tell you in a minute. I'm going to tell you right away.
2 free throws missed by Rudy Gobert. How about Bill Kennedy
Bill
and
Kennedy,
Sean Corbin?
Sean Corbin. I forget Bill Kennedy. He didn't get a chance to do a challenge.
No,
he's enchanting when he does that.
He must be upset that Zach had the top spot, so therefore he does the challenges. Here's Hield, left side, fires on a contested 3. That's short. Wolves have done a great job not letting Buddy Hield get going. He's 1 of 4 shooting tonight. Wolves are up by 14, but they've got possession left. The right quick move by Naz, a drive to the cup. Layup is good with the right hand. What a strong finish over the former Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green. Kevin Knox holds right wing. Conley's on him. Pat Spencer into the game. Now Buddy Hield up top. The long arms of Jaden McDaniels guarding him. Buddy couldn't get to the three-point line. Still 5 feet beyond it. Hands to Draymond, who got stripped by Naz Reid. And then Draymond, with his follow-through, hits Naz in the face. Now, this is a situation that Draymond has been in multiple times in the postseason, and they will take a look at this.
That's going to be a flagrant foul.
This is exactly what Draymond did to Fred VanVleet and to Jalen Green.
I mean, Draymond Green is such a fraud, man. I mean, like that extracurricular stuff that he does after the plays. And what drives me crazy, you know, Stan Van Gundy is a great analyst, and Reggie Miller, you know, he does a great job, right? And both of them, in 2 of the games where Draymond had flagrant fouls, they both said there was no intent by Draymond. We all know that Draymond knows exactly what he's doing with his limbs,
body, with his arms, his legs, all his antics.
Exactly right. So to say that it's incidental or not intentional, what have you been watching all these years that he's been playing the game? It's unbelievable.
It's a complete follow-through by Green. The foul has already occurred by Naz, and Draymond just, again, you don't see it so much with the legs this time, but it's the arms flailing down.
Well, look, this
hits Naz right in the head.
This is going to be his 3rd flagrant foul, Alan. So you get 4 in the playoffs. So
after review, the ruling on the floor is a personal foul on Reed, followed by a dead ball technical foul on Green.
Oh, you got to be kidding me!
Minnesota will shoot 1 shot, and then Golden State will have the ball on the side.
This is the way it was administered in Game 7. That's the way it was administered against Fred VanVleet. Same thing. Fred fouled Draymond, and on the follow-through, he hit Fred VanVleet.
Punched him.
And they said that was a technical. Then you go back the prior game in Game 6 against Jalen Green, where Draymond hits him in the side of the head. They ruled that a flagrant foul. And there is a gray area.
And he leg whipped Tari Eason in Game 2. So
but on this type of play, it's a gray area. You can go back and you can kind of go technical or flagrant foul, because a flagrant foul is, you can rule that. Oh, and this is where Draymond gets more leash than anybody in the league. When he just says that's BS, he's pointing, he's yelling.
Give him the technical
They're daring him to kick him out of this game. He's daring them. He went to Tyler Ford. He goes to Tony Brothers. Steph is trying to calm him down at midcourt.
Yeah.
But they could have called a flagrant,
fraud,
I think. I mean, this is a joke. This is exactly why Draymond Green is a joke in this league. And the officials need to stand up, tee him up, and get him out of there. That's the only way.
It's not going to do any good, though. It won't do any good.
What, to toss him out?
Yeah, he's not going to change who he is.
No, but you have to start administering it like you would any other player in the league.
Absolutely.
And Draymond goes to the bench here, and his antics are trying to fire up his own team. But it's an absolute joke that he gets away with complaining and telling the officials a whole number of swear words right to their face, and he gets away with it. Nobody else does.
To two of them. He did it to two of them. Tony Brothers and Tyler Ford got tongue lashings.
33-17. And a shot clock violation again against the Warriors. The free throw was missed by Mike Conley. The technical free throw. Yeah, the chant, I remember hearing this in the Western Conference Finals when the NBA thought it was okay to allow TNT to bring Draymond Green to the Western Conference Finals and commentate live with the TNT crew.
Another ridiculous move.
You want to change the behavior? You may not be able to, but you got to call it the same for every other player in this league. And it's very clearly that Draymond Green gets a different set of rules than anybody else. Here's Buddy Hield with it up top after Rudy fumbled it inside and the turnover. The shot no good. The rebound comes down. Trace Jackson Davis goes back up and scores it for two. 33-19.
I mean, Trace Jackson Davis plays about as often as you vacuum out the backseat of your car. And
It's not very often.
Exactly.
Nikhil right side up, fakes the three. Got to step on Jimmy Butler into the paint. Kick out pass deflected by Kevin Knox out of bounds. The Wolves have 11 to shoot. What was so refreshing about Game 1 is there were no Draymond Green antics. He was, I would say, completely under control.
Sure.
And it didn't take long for him to go back to Draymond Green sort of antics. Rudy on a handoff to Anthony Edwards. 35 feet out, takes a run on Jackson Davis. Now doubled by Hield. Kick out weak side. Here's Jaden McDaniels. Pull up 15-footer baseline. The shot no off the heel. Those are the shots this Warriors defense wants you to take, the mid-range shots. Jaden rejects Kevin Knox inside, swats it out of play emphatically. The crowd appreciates the effort of last year's second-team all-defensive player. 33-19. We haven't had the announcement of the all-defensive teams, all-NBA. Those are all still coming. Interesting to see if Jaden is on that. Doesn't feel like there's as much hype around Jaden this year maybe as a season ago. This shot on the perimeter, the Wolves come down with the rebound. They bring it up. Here's Anthony Edwards, left of the lane, drives through two defenders, kicks out Nikhil. Angle three on the way, got it! And both arms up in the air to celebrate for Nikhil Alexander-Walker. It's been a struggle this postseason as he has shot just 20% from beyond the arc. Ball knocked out of bounds at the other end. The Wolves will maintain control. They lead 36-19.
Buddy Hield just called for a foul there, setting an illegal screen in transition, trying to get their player open on that little screen right there for Pat Spencer.
Nikhil to the corner. Nas will hoist on the three. He missed that one long, and the rebound comes down to the Warriors.
I'll tell you what, Minnesota winning a lot of battles right now. One of them is the bench battle, 12-4 advantage. Good for Nikhil, good for Naz Reid.
Pat Spencer weaving his way into the paint, then back outside, now probing back in against Anthony Edwards. Turns, got it knocked away, and Ant comes away with the basketball. Hit ahead to Jaden running the floor. He'll drive to the bucket, got the foul. Does he get the bucket? No, it hung on the back rib, it wouldn't drop. And Jaden will be at the free throw line when we come back. 6:38 left to play in the first half. Timberwolves 36, Warriors 19 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Rosie here, plugging you into safety, service, and innovation. Edison Electric has been serving the Minneapolis and St. Paul area since 2007 and specializes in residential service, meaning they help you with all your home's electrical needs. From troubleshooting to panel replacements, they leave your home safer than when they arrived and provide 5-star service every time. Go to calledison.com for upfront pricing on all the residential electrical services in Minneapolis. That's calledison.com.
Yeah. Hey, look, a W is a W. And thanks to our FVP batteries in the lineup, we're playing up to our potential. I mean, you saw it out there today. What I'm loving about this FVP battery right now is the consistency. Day in, day out. I mean, no drama. Great work ethic with tremendous upside. I've said this before. You gotta be a self-starter in this league. That's why FVP is my MVP. Automotive batteries from FVPparts.com. You gotta reach for what works.
Next question. Hey, Wolves fans, listen up. Step up your shoe game this season with Trade Home Shoes, your Minnesota-based employee-owned retailer. Trade Home Shoes has on-trend footwear for the entire family. Brands like New Balance, Hoka, On, Birkenstock, Rival Shoes, and more. With over a century of experience and 130 locations nationwide, Trade Home Shoes is where generations meet comfort and style. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease. It'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
.38 left to go here in the second quarter. 36-19. The Wolves lead by 17 points. Chris Finch kind of called out Anthony Edwards after game one. At least that's the way it was kind of portrayed. It's nothing new for Chris Finch. It's nothing that he wouldn't say and didn't say right to Ant's face. But here's Chris Finch on Ant's response to the criticism from game one.
Anthony's pretty much always the same. It's one thing that we love about him. He's resilient. He responds. Been professional. You know, he's taken the criticism in the film room. He's taken the criticism whenever it's come his way, and he always bounces back. And he does it with a smile on his face, and that's when we know that he is at his best. And that's one of the things I think that gives him a great platform to lead and be the leader for this team. So.
Anthony Edwards, 2 of 6 shooting here in the first half, but Jimmy's been much more active. He's got 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He's got 3 steals. He's got no blocks. He's no turnovers, 1 block, and he's a plus 15.
What I'm loving right now is the body language from everybody in the blue uniform right now. It's like even though Ant hasn't scored, he's missed some layups. He has got energy. He's not got it. We love Ant for the emotion that he shows, the way that he flexes, the way that he smiles, the way that he plays with emotion. So it's not been that kind of game from him, but it's been a great energy game for really everybody.
What color uniforms did you say they were wearing?
Blue.
The Icon Blues, the Wolves have their best record overall in the season, 12-5 when wearing these bad boys, and 2-0 in the postseason, so 14-5. And on the home floor, the Wolves are 9-1 when they wear the Icon Blues.
How about Rudy Gobert coming out of that timeout, a plus 21 in the game right now to lead Minnesota.
3 blocks for Jaden McDaniels, plus he hits 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Pajemski got airborne and didn't know what to do with it. Tried to find Jackson Davis on the cut. Passed it behind him, out of bounds, turnover on Golden State.
Jackson Davis wanted the lob that time. He thought he was going to throw it up to the rim that time, and Pajemski thought he was going to go space out to the corner.
9 Golden State turnovers in the first half. The Wolves have committed 3. Wolves turned it over 16 times. That was their most in a postseason game this year. There we uncharacteristic. They've been a really good low turnover team since February the 1st. Ant steps through beautifully. Oh, got his shot blocked by a backtracking. And Ant is down along the baseline holding his left ankle. He now rolls onto a seated position. 5 on 4 at the other end. Butler leans in on Rudy and draws the foul. Butler will shoot 2. Ant still down at the other end of the floor, holding his left ankle. Donte DiVincenzo comes all the way down to take a look at Ant. The Wolves are... Well, Tony Brothers just basically said and told Chris Finch he was taking a timeout. And Chris didn't like that very much. Now, I think he does have to take a timeout because Anthony Edwards is down. But usually you let the head coach call that at some point. Timeout on the floor. Midway through the second quarter, Ant still down, holding that left ankle. 37-19. The Wolves lead by 18 points in Game 2 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Welcome to the NBA playoffs. The moment we've all been waiting for is here.
The fans now on the edge of their seats.
It's time to stay locked in to every single moment. Because you never know when history will be made. When it's win or go home, every moment matters. So don't miss a thing. NBA playoffs presented by Google continues on ABC, ESPN, and TNT.
Hello, this is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Now through June 2nd, we have a great selection of Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, and more.
Right, your summer starts here. I'm a pet sitter, and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas.
Stop, Sebastian. Goldie is not dinner.
Right, your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go places.
Back in our NBA Tonight studios for a scoreboard update brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go to Boston. Last night, the New York Knicks faced the Boston Celtics yet again after coming back from 20 points down in Game 1. They thought, why not do it again? They came back from another 20-point deficit. Second straight game to beat the Celtics. They're the first team in NBA history to have 2 consecutive 20-point deficits erased. Here's head coach Tom Thibodeau.
And that's the playoffs. You got to keep fighting. Every possession matters, and you got to play all 48 minutes. And so we started slowly, got in a big hole, dug our way out, and then guys made a lot of tough plays. They were at their best when their best was needed down the stretch. And that's the playoffs. You got to keep.
That's what it's all about, fighting for the whole 48, making sure that you are still in this game no matter the score. The Knicks lead the series 2-0, stealing 2 games in Boston. That series heads back to the Madison Square Garden in New York. Game 3 on Saturday at 2:30. That place is going to be rocking. Let's head back to Target Center with Alan and Jim.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. 5:56 left to go in the second quarter. There's pretty much a hush over the crowd here as Anthony Edwards got helped back to his feet, but then went directly out the visitors' tunnel toward the Wolves locker room. Looking at the replay on that last drive in which he got his shot blocked by Trace Jackson Davis. Jackson Davis then comes down when Ant lands. Jackson Davis lands after him, and his right foot comes down and pins Ant's foot as he's going to the floor.
I mean, I'm going to say crushes. I mean, crushed his foot. I mean, it was like right on the foot ankle area. So, I mean, it turned it sort of in too. So it's not good. He didn't step on it, so it turned it on top of his ankle, on the outside of his ankle. So
you're right on the top of the foot too, some ankle, and Ant immediately is in pain. And he's kind of holding up high on his ankle too.
He is. And Dante came over to check on him, and Ant was just like shaking his head. He's like, this is not good.
So the Warriors without Steph Curry, and for now the Wolves without Anthony Edwards.
That's his left ankle too. That's the one for a right-handed player. That's their lift leg. That's the one that they jump off when they shoot with their right hand in a layup or dunk.
Now, Wolves fans certainly know that Ant has had his share of injuries or apparent injuries, only to return from the locker room and look like 100%. So there's the hope that that's the case here again tonight. 37-20 after Jimmy Butler splits a pair at the free throw line. Julius Randle left to right, works on Butler into the paint, now fades outside of the paint at the right elbow and hits the jumper. Julius Randle, 3 of 6 shooting. He's got 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
Minnesota 12 assists on 14 field goal makes. They had 5 total assists in the first half last ball game.
5:26 left to go. Butler here's the booze. Lobs it inside. I guess that's where Trace Jackson Davis wanted it last time. Jimmy delivered it.
I just don't get why he doesn't play for them. He played so well against us in all those Warrior games, both here and in Golden State.
Randle front court, straddles the three-point line, guarded by Moses Moody. Jab step, now works left of the lane, spins back middle, hangs and kicks out. Dante sets himself, fires the 3 and hits it! Dante DiVincenzo, his first 3 ball of the night. It's been a struggle for Dante here in the postseason, shooting just 18%. Up top, losing the handle, regaining it is Kuminga. Now out to Jimmy Butler in midcourt, guarded by Jaden McDaniels, 10 to shoot. Off the high, Jackson Davis screen, Butler on a drive, all the way through baseline, sets up Podziemski in the corner, works on Nikhil, by him to the cup, off the glass with a left hand, soft touch. It drops in for 2, Podziemski's got 6. 42-24, Timberwolves, right, 18. Dante got stripped, Jackson Davis comes away with the basketball. Podziemski crosses midcourt. Now Jimmy Butler with it. 6 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, steps through in the lane, kicks out. Kuminga moves it to Podziemski, corner 3 on the way, in and out, no. Rudy soars in for the rebound. That's his 6th board of the half. Here's Jaden quickly front court, steps through in the lane, up with the right hand, off front rim, and it trickles through. 2 more for Jaden. He's up to 8 points to go along with his 3 blocks in this game. And at last check, he was a plus 17, one of the best marks of the team. Only Rudy has been better. Jimmy off the screen by Jackson Davis, takes it all the way in, runs it up over Rudy. Shot never hit the rim. Timberwolves have the rebound. Here's Dante up in the front court. 3:45 to go in the second. They set up Randle baseline left, cut off against Moses Moody. Still pounding away, 1 foot in the paint, now the second. He'll run it up inside. He took Moody right to school, to the rim to score for 2 more. He's in double figures now with 11.
Stuck Moses Moody in the torture chamber that time.
Just right inside. A nice adjust to be able to finish that because he spun quickly. Right corner 3 for Moody, that's offline. Nikhil with a rebound. Here's Dante up the center of the floor, picked up by Podziemski, drifts right, sets up Randle up top, thought about the 3 ball against Butler. 1-on-1, now he sidesteps to his right, fires and missed it to the right. And Podziemski controls the rebound. Timberwolves 6 of 15 from deep. They only had 5 threes the entire game 1. Here's Kuminga to the free throw line. The pull-up jumper, short, rattles around. Ooh! Jackson Davis hit the net, apparently not enough to affect the shot, which did come through. So Jonathan Kuminga gets 2 off the bench. He's got 4. Nikhil looking right, here's Dante. Beats Moody off the dribble, lobs it up for Rudy, and the timing was off, and Jackson Davis was there. Boy, Dante's got to shoot that. Here's Podziemski off to Jackson Davis, to the cup, the lay-in good, and a foul. Boy, I think you're right. Steve Kerr, you know, another guy that he didn't play in game 1 of the regular season against the Timberwolves was Buddy Hield. He only played like 10 minutes. And you can tell Buddy is a guy that kills the Wolves. And Jackson Davis doesn't play at all in game 1, makes an impact here. I think they stumbled into something where the Warriors are acting as if a timeout has been called, and I don't believe one has been. The officials are getting them back on the floor here. But has Steve Kerr stumbled into something? You mentioned how well Trace Jackson Davis has played.
He had a 15-point game and a win here at Target Center. Went 7 of 8. He's the reason why they won that game at Target Center, by the way. You remember that game here? He was just so dominant and really late, too. Working so well with Steph Curry, who was also big down the stretch in that ball game.
Yeah, the Wolves in all 4 meetings against the Warriors, they went 1-3. But in all 4 games, they were either tied or had the lead in the 4th quarter. Only won 1 of those. I think that's why you and I talked after the series, and we felt like, you know what, Minnesota's a better team. They should not have been 1-3 against Golden State.
And they shouldn't have been a 6 seed. They should have been a 2 seed. They could have easily had, 3 or 4 more wins had they taken care of business when they needed to. 5-0 run here for Golden State.
Jackson Davis hits the free throw. 46-29. Timberwolves still up by 17 here. Ant still remains back in the locker room. Turnover on Minnesota. Buddy Hield a step through with a lay-in. No. But a goaltend is called as Dante backtracked and blocked it, but did it already come off the glass?
Conley's getting ready to check back in for Minnesota. 2:24 to go here in the period. Still trying to get all the stuff off his legs. Minnesota almost turns it over on the inbound.
Nikhil feeds Dante in the front court. Here's Julius Randle up top. Has Hesitates, now drives on Green, missed the shot. Rebound up by Randall, and he put it back up and in. Really his second attempt as he went up over the back of Buddy Hield to keep it alive on the first knock off the glass, and then controlled it and put it home. That snaps a 7-0 Golden State run, which came in a 35-second span. Golden State can score in a hurry. Draymond Green draws contact, throws it up. Smart play, draws the foul on Nikhil. He'll shoot two, 1:54 to go in the half. Timberwolves by 17. Wolves have led by as many as 22. In game one, Golden State led by as many as 23.
Mike is taking a long time to get game ready. He had stuff all over his legs and ankles. He just now unzipped his jacket. He's been at the scoring table for about 2 minutes.
Finally enters the game. Nikhil looks a little dejected coming to the bench. Never a good feeling when you get subbed out. Third foul on Nikhil. So Mike Conley and Dante DiVincenzo in the backcourt with Jaden, Julius, and Rudy up front. Ant still back in the locker room, we would assume, through halftime. Here's Mike Conley up into the front court with the Wolves up by 15. Warriors have dialed up the defensive pressure a bit. Here's Conley off the Randall screen right of the lane. Back up top, here's Julius. He'll fire on the three and drops it in. Timberwolves needed that. That is their 7th triple of the half.
It's also the 7th player that's hit a triple as well. 4 starters, 3 bench players.
Wolves knock the ball away. Julius thinks that should be Timberwolves basketball. It is not. It's Golden State ball.
The only player not to hit a 3 is, of course, Rudy Gobert. That's seen time on the floor for Minnesota.
Yeah, everyone has one.
I'll take that. Spread the wealth. It's good to see him go in. Minnesota shooting 44% from outside the arc as Kuminga lays one in there at the rim.
Good cut. Draymond found an easy bucket, 51-36. Boy, since Ant went down, it's just kind of a weird feeling in the building. And the Wolves have kind of played that way the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Julius has taken over, though. He's got 16 in the game. A lot of this has come after Ant went down. Scores 7.
Mike uses the Julius screen, down the lane out to Nas, who moves into the angle. Dante, second 3 of the half. In fact, second 3 in about 4 minutes. Kuminga quickly back the other way, drives on Randall, got the layup. Boy, that's tough. You work hard for that shot at the offensive end, give up 2 about 4 seconds later. 54-37, under a minute to go here, first half. Conley up top, Draymond Green is watching him. We'll use a little bit of clock here. Shot clock shows 8. Julius with it. Quick move on Draymond into the paint. Hangs and lobs it back out. Here's McDaniels. Jaden left-handed dribble down the lane. Runs it up with the left hand and drops it in for 2. He's in a double figures with 10.
Man, was that sweet. He just drove it with the left hand. Finished with the left hand. Beautifully done.
Here's Buddy Hield right in the lane. Cut off by Conley in the block. Now to Podziemski on the move. Steps through. Hangs and kicks out. Here's Kuminga left angle. He'll dribble to the baseline. Pull up 15-footer is good. Jonathan Kuminga makes this 56-39. Wolves have it. 20 seconds to go in the half. And the shot clock is off.
They scored on 7 straight possessions. Golden State's been super efficient here since Ant went down.
Golden State has a foul to give if they choose to do so. Julius has the ball in his hands. The crowd rises to their feet with 5 seconds to go in the half. There's the foul. Trace Jackson-Davis commits it. And they'll be sidelined out of bounds, Minnesota, with 5.7 to shoot. Well, here's your moment. Braxton Key is in. I think that makes everybody active. All 15 players have at least played for Golden State in the first 2 games. Inbound Julius fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, bullies his way into the paint, throws it up off the glass. Shot, no. Rebound Jackson Davis. His length of the court heave is short and would not have counted had it gone. So the Timberwolves with a really solid opening 24 minutes. 56-39. They lead by 17. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Anthony Edwards coming out of halftime.
Yeah, I mean, it looked bad. But, you know, you never know with him. So we're anticipating coming back. And, oh, look who our halftime act is.
The amazing Slottick?
Slottick is here.
That's the chair guy. He climbs up to the scoreboard. Golden State 8 of 11 shooting since the Ant injury. The Wolves went 7 of 10. Both teams got it rolling after Ant went down. Up by 17 at the half. Alex Leibold has your halftime coverage next all across the Timberwolves radio network.
Wolves fans, this team is only getting better, and next season starts now.
Nas with it off to Ant, drives in and hammers it through with a right hand.
Bring it with a full, half, or quarter season membership and get playoff priority, exclusive perks, and every can't-miss moment from Anthony Edwards.
It's Ant's time! He's taking over here in the fourth.
Don't wait. Head to Timberwolves.com/memberships to claim your seats.
Oh, the energy in the building right now is through the roof. Hey Timberwolves fans, ready to score big with Wolves gear without breaking the bank? Let me introduce you to Sezzle and the Pay in 4 program. With Sezzle, you can split your payments into 4 easy, interest-free installments on all your Wolves purchases. From jerseys and hoodies to courtside seats, Sezzle has got you covered. Wherever you shop, however you rep the Wolves. Download the Sezzle app and get started today. Sezzle, the official jersey patch sponsor of the Timberwolves. Subject to approval, see terms and conditions at Sezzle.com.
Hey Wolves fans, it's Rosie from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, your home comfort MVPs since 1930. Just like the Timberwolves bring the heat on the court, we keep your home in perfect condition all year long. We're proud to sponsor the Timberwolves this season. Let's go Wolves! Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Call or visit standardheating.com since 1930.
DiVincenzo in the backcourt with Jaden, Julius, and Rudy up front, and still back in the locker room, we would assume, through halftime. Here's Mike Conley up in the front court with the Wolves up by 15. Warriors have dialed up the defensive pressure a bit. Here's Conley off the Randall screen right of the lane. Back up top, here's Julius. He'll fire on the three and drops it in. Timberwolves needed that. That is their 7th triple of the half.
A big first half for Julius Randle with Anthony Edwards going down injured. Randle finished that half with 16 points as the Wolves lead by 17, 56-39. As we welcome you back into the NBA Tonight studios for the halftime show, as the Wolves, like I just said, are up on the Warriors by 17 points at the break. During this halftime break, we'll take a look at the box score, listen in on some of those first half highlights that told the story of those first 24 minutes, and we'll take a look around the rest of the association as we are well into the second round of those NBA playoff matchups. But first, buckle up for an unforgettable night when Rick Springfield brings the I Want My 80s tour to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Relive the 80s with Jesse's Girl, Don't Talk to Strangers, and other Springfield classics, as well as hits from special guests John Waite, Wang Chung, and Paul Young. Come ready to rock with this all-star lineup. Hits the Treasure Island Amphitheater on Thursday, June 19th. Get your tickets at ticasino.com. Well, the Wolves spent yesterday's practice putting up shots, and that showed dividends pretty early on for the Timberwolves in that first quarter.
No, it stepped out of bounds off a heel. The Wolves will have it. 6 on the shot clock.
I'm really concerned about Minnesota also finishing at the rim. They missed a lot of layups last ball game. They missed threes, but they missed a ton of layups too.
Julius free throw line up, fakes, moves to his right, sets up McDaniels, wing right, 3 on the way is good. Well, there's the early 3, and the Wolves lead 3-0. Mike Smith handled it a couple of times early on. He'll feed Randall wing right. Backs down Jimmy Butler, gets to the mid-post, turns middle, back out to Conley. The lefty will fire on the triple, and he'll hit! How about 2 for 2 after the Wolves go 12 for 76 over the last 2 games? Take that.
That 6-0 start extended to a 13-0 run to start the night, and Minnesota kept their foot on the gas both on offense and on defense.
2 for 2 at the free throw line for Anthony Edwards. The lead is back up to double digits, 15-5. Spencer on a drive, left to lane, throws it back out, stolen by Anthony Edwards. He leads a 2-on-1 break off to Dante. Now the trailer, Nas left wing, fires on the 3. It's off the front rim, no. Dante tracking down the rebound, saves it in the corner. He out-hustled Jonathan Kuminga. Nas again, angle 3 is good. 18-5, the Timberwolves out to the 13-point lead with 4 to go here in the opening quarter. Hustle by Dante DiVincenzo made the play possible.
Hustle by the whole Wolves offense in that first quarter. They had 5 offensive boards, which led to 10 second chance points. The Wolves led by as much as 18 points, but finished that first quarter up by 2 touchdowns, 29-15. Ant had 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals in that first quarter. Julius Randle had 7 points and 2 assists as the Warriors turned the ball over 5 times and sank 6 of their 17 shots. Momentum was definitely on Minnesota's side into the second frame as Nikhil and Naz both sank layups, and frustration boiled over for Draymond Green as he received a technical foul for elbowing Naz Reid off the ball, and he was lucky really not to get ejected after having some choice words from multiple officials after that call, but the Wolves responded in the best possible way.
This shot on the perimeter, the Wolves come down with the rebound. They bring it up. Here's Anthony Edwards, left of the lane, drives through 2 defenders, kicks out Nikhil. Angle 3 on the way, got it! And both arms up in the air to celebrate for Nikhil Alexander-Walker. It's been a struggle this postseason as he has shot just 20% from beyond the arc. Ball knocked out of bounds at the other end. The Wolves will maintain control. They lead 36-19.
Yeah, that was a big shot for Nikhil after not scoring at all in Game 1. It was a great bounce-back half. He finished with 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting in his 14 minutes off the bench. There was an injury scare in the second quarter for the Wolves after Anthony Edwards had a shot blocked by Trace Jackson-Davis, where Jackson-Davis would end up landing on Ant's left ankle on the way down. We received note that he is questionable to return with a left ankle sprain, so we will see if he can come back for the second half. The Wolves could really use it. They went up by as much as 22 after Ant went to the locker room, and Minnesota had to find a way to play without Anthony Edwards, just like how the Warriors are finding a way to play without Steph Curry, and it was Julius Randle who made sure that they would get to the half with the lead.
Nikhil feeds Dante in the front court. Here's Julius Randle up top. Hesitates, now drives on Green, missed the shot. Rebound up by Randle, and he put it back up and in. Really his second attempt as he went up over the back of Buddy Hield to keep it alive on the first knock off the glass, and then controlled it and put it home. And snaps a 7-0 Golden State run, which came in a 35-second span.
Yeah, a big bucket there for Julius Randle. He would actually go on to score or assist 14 of the final 19 points the Wolves would score after Ant was taken off the field. He finished that half with 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Jaden McDaniels, the only other Timberwolf with double-digit points. He finished with 10 points and 3 blocks. But the Wolves are getting good production from their bench. Dante DiVincenzo with 6 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. Naz Reid, 5 points with also 4 assists and 3 boards. And like I said before, Nikhil with those 7 points. Only one player in for the Golden State Warriors with 10 points. He is not a starter. It's Jonathan Kuminga, was 5 for 5 in that first half coming off the bench. Draymond Green finished with 5 points, 4 assists in that first half. The Wolves led by as much as 22. They scored 24 of their 46 points in the paint, and they've gotten 6 offensive rebounds, 12 points off of those. So the Wolves are finding their way to the glass. They're starting to sink more threes. They're 8 for 17, shooting 47% from beyond the arc in that first half as they lead by 17. We're going to take a quick break, but on the other side, we'll run around the association and see what happened last night in the NBA playoffs right here on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
As a business owner, you understand the importance of protecting your reputation, workplace, employees, and financial assets. Our team is ready to help yours by creating a custom lineup of industry-specific coverages and risk management service to help you stay at the top of your game. Contact your local Federated representative for more information today. Federated Insurance. It's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Timberwolves up 17 at the half, 56-39, thanks to 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists from Julius Randle. They're getting 18 points off of their bench thanks to Donte DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And they are sinking the three-point ball, 8 for 17, while the Warriors are getting a taste of the Wolves' medicine these past 2 games. They are just 3 for 13 from beyond the arc. Let's take a look around the association. The Wolves are the only game going on tonight, but last night there was some exciting action going on across the association. The New York Knicks went into Boston after coming back from 20 points down in Game 1. They did that same recipe for Game 2. They came back from 20 points down for the second consecutive game, the first team in NBA history to do such a thing. They lead 2-0 in the series as they head back to Madison Square Garden. Karl Anthony Towns had 21 points with 17 rebounds, and Jalen Brunson had 17 with 7 assists. The Denver Nuggets, after winning Game 1 on that Anthony Gordon 3-ball, went back into Oklahoma City with momentum, but it was Oklahoma City Thunder who responded with fire. They come out with a 43-point win, 149-106, to even the game at 1 apiece. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 34 points with 4 rebounds and 8 assists, as they had 8 different players score in double digits. Chet Holmgren had a 15-point, 11-rebound double-double. Tomorrow in the association, it will be Game 3, between the Denver Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. That one takes place at 9 p.m. in Denver, and before that, at 6:30, is the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are down 0-2 to the Indiana Pacers and Tyrese Halliburton. They are playing in Indiana, so a tall hill to climb for those Cleveland Cavaliers. The 1 seed is not looking too great right now. This is the halftime show. Wolves are up by 17, 56-39. Let's hope if Anthony Edwards is feeling a little better, if he can make his way back onto the concourse. Second half action is coming your way with Alan Horton and Jim Peterson next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Welcome to the NBA playoffs. The moment we've all been waiting for is here.
The fans now on the edge of their seats.
It's time to stay locked in to every single moment. Because you never know when history will be made. When it's win or go home, every moment matters. So don't miss a thing. NBA playoffs presented by Google continues on ABC, ESPN, and TNT.
Looking for a next-level way to bring your crew together? A Minnesota Lynx game is the perfect spot for your group. Whether it's a work outing, youth team night, birthday bash, or celebration, groups get discounted tickets, block seating, and a shout-out on the big screen, plus access to exclusive fan experiences like high-fiving the team, watching warm-ups, or even playing on the Lynx court. Don't just watch the action, be part of it. Lock in your group now at lynxbasketball.com/groups and make memories that last way past the final buzzer.
2 bands, 1 night. Bachman-Turner Overdrive. The Marshall Tucker Band. Roll on down the Highway 2025 tour. Saturday, July 19th, live at the Treasure Island Amphitheater. With special guest Jefferson Starship. A night of vintage PTO. A night of classic Marshall Tucker Band. Tickets on sale now at TICasino.com.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
At the half, Timberwolves up on the Golden State Warriors 56-39. We check in with assistant coach Pablo Prigioni. And Pablo, boy, just a different energy, a different vibe about Game 2. What stood out to you in that first half, especially about the way the Wolves attacked offensively?
Yeah, I think number one thing, we brought our pace back. Our pace back, our spacing, our energy, our attack mindset. Defensively, obviously, you're doing a really good job. We had a really good start of the game. Set the tone, keep this guy under 40 points is huge. And then I think that's the game for us. The offense sometimes, it comes and goes, but the defense have to be there all the time.
Hey, Pablo, Ant comes back onto the floor here at halftime. When his injury happened, it looked really bad. Trace Jackson-Davis, crushed his ankle. And when you see Anthony Edwards, who does he... If you ever played with anybody or seen an athlete that has his kind of build, he reminds me of Akeem Olajuwon, the way his ankles and knee joints are. He's just different. The fact that he can come back from an injury like that, have you played with anybody that is like that?
Not really. And we have seen this multiple times. It sometimes looks bad. He go back to the locker room, get a little treatment, and he coming back. He's a beast. an elite athlete. He's strong, you know. All part of his body are super strong, so he have that ability to recover quickly and come back to the game.
I feel like he's one of those guys, if you threw a hand grenade at him, all you do is blow his shoes off.
Yeah, probably right. Probably you're right.
Hey, Pablo, real quick, biggest key for the second half in your eyes?
I mean, just stay super locked in defensively and take advantage when we get a steal, get a stop, run, keep our pace high. We have 17 assists. I mean, just continue to play with the pass and be impatient.
Pablo, as always, appreciate it. Good luck second half.
Thank you, guys.
Pablo Prigioni along with us, up by 17 points at the half. Wolves led by as many as 22 in that first half. Huge ovation for Anthony Edwards as he came out of the tunnel onto the floor for his warm-ups before the start of the second half. And does look to be walking a little gingerly, I would say, but boy, once I think the juices start flowing, we'll see how he responds.
It's just unbelievable. And, you know, Kevin Garnett was like that, too. Ticket Allen would do this all the time. He would get wrench his knee or ankle, and you'd think there's no way he's going to come back, and he would just shake it off. It's just unbelievable to have that. It's really a gift, I mean, more than anything else.
Yeah, he couldn't even get any weight on his ankle going back to the locker room. He's warming up for the second half. And we'll see how he fares. The Wolves, a solid opening 12 minutes. They're up by 17. Timberwolves basketball brought to you in part by U.S. Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Wolves. And by Sezzle, 4-point play in the NBA. That's hard, but splitting your next Wolves purchase into 4 interest-free installments with Sezzle, that's easy. Download the Sezzle app today. Terms and conditions apply. Warriors begin the third quarter with possession. Left to right, association wipes. Butler right down the lane. Nobody picked him up, and he lays it up and in with the right hands.
First play of the game of the second half here for Jimmy Butler to get him started. He had just 6 points.
The beginning of the third quarter was telling in game 1-2. The Wolves were down 13 at the half, and Golden State quickly pushed that to 20 in the opening minutes of the third quarter. Conley misfires on a 3. And Draymond Green, who's got a technical in this game, should have gotten tossed in the first half for his antics, yelling at the officials. They let him get away with that. Here's Butler around the green screen, elbow, back out. Draymond, he'll fire away on a triple. That's off front rim. The Wolves have the rebound. So Ant's got it. He'll get a chance to jog it up here, get a little rhythm going. Left-handed dribble picked up by Kuminga, starts the second half. No Quentin Post. He played the opening 3 minutes, so we didn't see him again. Julius got stripped. Here's Kuminga's foul from behind by Anthony Edwards. It's a take foul.
It was a clear path. I mean, there was nobody. I know it's a take foul, but like there was nobody between.
Randall may have been even. I'm with you though. It's certainly questionable. So. I always find it odd too. Like Steve Kerr's not arguing. Nobody on the Golden State bench.
I would
at least take
that.
a look at it.
I would have argued that.
Yep.
I mean, Julius Randle was not even. If you're even, you're behind though too. I mean, I really feel like. He was ahead though, and Anthony Edwards fouled him from behind. So that to me was easily a clear path.
Free throw is good, 56-42, and Golden State still has possession. That's the benefit of the take foul. Draymond flails in the lane, his shot way offline, but he healed the offensive rebound and the putback. No. Wolves control. Now Jaden pressured right side. Do we have a foul? Do we have the ball out of bounds? Boy, that looked like it went off of Jaden McDaniels.
Good looking.
I like how Steve Kerr is coming onto the floor. He's telling the officials to hold on.
They're going to call timeout. They're going to challenge.
He's looking back at his bench to tell them to hold on. Now he calls the timeout, and they have challenged this call. Now, this will be interesting, too, because it does bring into play the foul proximate to the play, if there's potential contact there. We'll tell you about it when we come back. 10:44 left to go in the third. Timberwolves 56, Warriors 42 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Rosie here, plugging you into safety, service, and innovation. Edison Electric has been serving the Minneapolis and St. Paul area since 2007 and specializes in residential service, meaning they help you with all your home's electrical needs. From troubleshooting to panel replacements, they leave your home safer than when they arrived and provide 5-star service every time. Go to calledison.com for upfront pricing on all the residential electrical services in Minneapolis. That's calledison.com.
Yeah. Hey, look, a W is a W. And thanks to our FVP batteries in the lineup, we're playing up to our potential. I mean, you saw it out there today. What I'm loving about this FVP battery right now is the consistency. Day in, day out. I mean, no drama. Great work ethic with tremendous upside. I said this before. You gotta be a self-starter in this league. That's why FVP is my MVP. Automotive batteries from FVPparts.com. You gotta reach for what works.
Next question. Hey, Wolves fans, listen up. Step up your shoe game this season with Trade Home Shoes, your Minnesota-based employee-owned retailer. Trade Home Shoes has on-trend footwear for the entire family. Brands like New Balance, Hoka, On, Birkenstock, Rival Shoes, and more. With over a century of experience in 130 locations nationwide, Trade Home Shoes is where generations meet comfort and style. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease! It'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
10:45 left to go in the third. Timberwolves are up by 14. The challenge is successful by Steve Kerr and the Warriors. The ball last touched the heel of Jaden McDaniels out of bounds. So Golden State will have it. The Wolves in 3 possessions to begin the second half. 0 for 1 shooting with 2 turnovers. The Wolves are dominating the three-point line. Well, maybe dominating was what Golden State did to the Wolves in game 1, hitting 18 threes, and the Wolves only have 5. That is the largest three-point differential the Wolves have had in any game all season long, and the margin was 39 points. That's the largest since May the 5th in a home game against the Boston Celtics in 2021. That's almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Draymond Green after the game talked about the three-point differential.
We flew around. We made extra efforts, which was important. We know this is a very, very good three-point shooting team, and we knew that we didn't want to give them uncontested looks. They starting to hit threes, they can roll. Saw that last series, and so we're not going to hold them to 5 threes every night, that's for sure. But incredible job, incredible game plan put together by CD and Stack on the defensive end. I think guys did a great job of fouling it, but I think we can be a lot better.
Draymond Green brings the ball up the floor off the Jimmy Butler baseline to Hield. Now to Green in the corner, lines up the corner 3 and missed it. He hit 4 threes in game 1, but Draymond 1 of 4 from distance tonight. Rudy got hit in the face fighting for that rebound. He's slow to join the rest of the teammates up in the front court. Here's Julius left wing, hand off to Mike. 10 on the shot clock. Now the Wolves getting their offense for real. Randall working against Butler, zips it up top. Conley, the catch and shoot 3 is good. You know who makes that play is Julius Randle, and the pace on which he passes the ball. If that's a soft pass up there, there's not enough space for Mike to shoot that.
You got to beat the closeout. I mean, so that's what his passes do. The zip on it makes it more difficult for them to close out and contest.
Kuminga has it right wing against Randall, isolated there. Now a left-handed dribble into the paint, couple pump fakes, and a kick out to Butler. Stolen by Jaden McDaniels. He knocked it up in the air, then grabbed it with 2 hands. Feeds Randall on the move down the lane. Stripped, the ball's out of bounds and off the shin of Julius Randle. The Wolves have turned it over for the 3rd time here in the opening 3+ minutes of this second half. Kuminga, baseline drive, rises and flushes. I feel like if the Warriors are going to come back in this game, it's going to be on a 6-for-6 performance with Jonathan Kuminga. Like, he's going to be a big part of this Warriors comeback if it happens. Here's Ant, off to Julius Randle. We haven't seen much of Ant here in this 3rd quarter, asserting himself. Here's Conley off the Randle screen, back to Julius, wide open, looking at a 3, comes up short. Brandon Pajemski, the rebound. The Wolves are 9 of 20 on their threes, 45%. Up by 15, Butler has it up top. Rudy is guarding him. The boos come down for Jimmy Butler. Now Green off to Hield, back up top. Jimmy wide open on a 3, and he misses. He makes it.
Nobody even rotating, making an effort to rotate out there. Rudy could have gotten there, but just all the back screening they do is such a valuable thing for their offense in terms of getting guys open.
Here's Ant on a run into the paint, up with the right hand. He missed the shot off the glass. Rudy the putback, no, but he drew contact, and he'll shoot 2. 2 free throws coming up for Rudy Gobert. Hands coming up. He thought he got hit on the arm again and didn't get another call at the rim.
It's an 8-3 run here by Golden State. Rudy's still looking at and dabbing his forehead, like that right eyebrow area is where he's kind of wiping. Is there a player that gets hit in the face more than Rudy Gobert?
No.
I don't think it's even close, is it? I mean, Rudy just gets hit so often.
And is 1 for 6 at the rim tonight.
Let me tell you something. I would rather have him do what he's doing right now, which is talking to Tyler Ford during the dead ball situation, than to complain when the game's still going on. When he doesn't get the call and he's laying on the ground, he gets back and he's clapping his hands or talking to the referee versus getting back. I would rather have him do what he's doing right now. I think that's the more respectful way to interact with the referees anyway.
Yes. Agreed. Rudy a little too strong on the second one. Kuminga snares the rebound. 1 out of 2 for Rudy at 60-47. Golden State now is within 13. Jimmy Butler, wing left, pressured now by Gobert. Buddy Hield comes to. Hield was quiet in the first half. He's got 6 points for the game now. Here's Butler into the paint, spins on Rudy, now kicks it back out. Here's Hield with 2 to shoot, crosses over, fires on a deep 2, it's off front rim. Rudy snares the rebound. Terrific defense.
That's Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels at their best right there.
You may want to go away from those 2 guys if you can help it. Edwards with it, right side of McDaniels. Beautiful spin move in the lane, up with the right hand, counted for 2 more. 12 for Jaden McDaniels.
Jaden's putting on a clinic right now on both ends.
3 blocks, 1 steal, coming inside, double clutches. Wow, that's a quick whistle by Tyler Ford.
Sure is.
And Nas will track him down and try to protest, but officials don't overturn their own calls like that.
It's going to be the second team foul, but Kuminga went into a passing motion, so he could have maybe shot it. Got underneath the backboard, which caused him to have to try to pass it back out. So it's going to be side out for Golden State.
Pajemski to Butler, wing left. Butler's got 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. And Butler goes to work inside, runs up the shot, it drops in, and he drew the contact. 3-point opportunity for JB.
Rudy goes straight up, too, on that drive by Jimmy Butler, gets into the painted area. He did hit that left arm on the way up, though. Rudy sang and holding his 2 arms up in the air, but Jimmy did draw the contact. He's got that great knack of being able to, in his shot motion, without making it look like it's going out of his way to be able to draw that contact. He just does it so naturally.
Butler's 4 of 5 on and ones in the postseason for Golden State, leading them in that category. And now he's 5 of 6 on his and one free throws. 62-50, Golden State continues to inch closer here. Butler now has 8 points in the opening 4.5 minutes of the second half. He had 6 in the first half. Mike the drive to the corner. It's Nas, a 3-ball no, and Kuminga snares the rebound. Here comes Golden State, trailing by as many as 22 in the first half. Have not had the lead here tonight. Butler around the Pajemski screen, top of the key, picked up by Conley. Left-handed dribble, Butler into the paint, 10 feet out, kicks out to Green right wing. Now Kuminga in the corner with 6 to shoot. He'll try to drive baseline, gets around. Rudy goes up and jams it for 2. It went through. Rudy had the contest, but Kuminga stays perfect from the field. He's 7 for 7. He's got 14 points.
They have outplayed Minnesota since Minnesota was up 13-0. The Warriors have actually won the minutes since then.
And a turnover on the Wolves, their 4th of the second half. Pajemski to the corner, Hield, the 3-ball's good. Timeout, Chris Finch. This is a 7-point game. 6:57 left to go in the third. The Warriors have come storming out of the locker room at halftime. They've gone 16-6. The 22-point deficit has been cut to 7. 62-55 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Postseason dunks, threes, buzzer beaters. There's so much NBA happening. I gotta keep up.
Whoa, take it easy there. There's a better way to NBA. All playoffs long.
Wait, really?
With the NBA app, you get real-time stats and scores for every playoff matchup. Witness playoff drama as it unfolds.
Seriously?
Catch every bucket all in one place, all for free.
Where have you been all my life?
There's a better way to NBA. Download the app today. Available on the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
Hello, this is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Now through June 2nd, we have a great selection of Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, and more.
Right, your summer starts here. I'm a pet sitter, and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas. Stop, Sebastian. Goldie is not dinner. Right, your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go places.
Alex Leibold here in our NBA Tonight studios with a scoreboard update brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go to Oklahoma City, where the Thunder dominated the Denver Nuggets in Game 2 after falling in the first game 121-119. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 34 points in their 43-point win, 149-106 to tie the series up at 1. They led by as much as 49 in this game, scoring 87 points in the first half, a new NBA playoff record. And Shai talked up after Game 2 about how important it was for the team to get out to a fast start.
We knew what was at stake tonight. We came out desperate. We wanted to just take care and control the things that we knew we could, and we did a pretty good job of that, specifically to start the game, and that start carried us through the rest of the night.
Yeah, pretty good job might be an understatement when you score a new NBA playoff record for points in the first half with 87. Game 3 is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. in Denver. Series tied at 1 game apiece. Let's head back to Alan and Jim.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. An 8-0 Golden State run, part of a 16-6 burst out of halftime, has made this a 7-point game. Under the category of better late than never, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network. Along with Jim Peterson, I'm Alan Horton from our radio platform here in Section 132 of the Lower Bowl. Target center the venue tonight, downtown Minneapolis. Our studio host is Alex Leibold. Our engineer is Mike Weber. Our statisticians are Super Dave Hanlon and Mike Greenbaum. Our broadcast coordinator is Ben Haney. Our executive producer is Cal Soderquist. Glad you're along with us on our flagship, 100.3 FM, KFAN The Fan here in the Twin Cities. The iHeartRadio app, the Timberwolves mobile app, the NBA app, SiriusXM, NBA radio, and all across the Timberwolves radio network, wherever you're joining us tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Jimmy Butler, 6 points in the first half, 8 already here in the opening 5 minutes of the second. He talked after last game about how this Warriors team has to play without Steph Curry.
Ball just needs to move a lot more, find the open guy, attack closeouts, get into the paint. And I guess it's going to be my job to draw a little bit more attention. Probably not as much as Steph does draw, but I got to find a way to score and get everybody else involved.
And he is scoring here in the third. Nas out of the timeout. The runner down the lane, no, and Draymond Green's got the rebound. Jimmy then turns it over coming up the floor. A double dribble against Jimmy Butler, or a discontinued dribble. The Wolves will get the ball back. Jim, the Wolves are 2 of 7 shooting now in the third quarter with 4 turnovers. They've lost their rhythm.
They certainly have. And Ant's not really been a part of what they've been doing here. Jimmy Butler has really flexed his muscle. You just heard the sound from him, but he had 6 at halftime. He's got 14 now, but it's also winning the bench battle as well all of a sudden, because this Warriors team now is up 21-18. Kuminga has been amazing, 7 of 7, 14.
Nas, right side 3 off the inbound. He buries it. The catch and shoot 3.
Levels it up right there.
Well, all 21 points for the Warriors coming from Kuminga with 14 and Jackson Davis with 7. Wolves needed that. They pushed the lead back to double figures, up by 10. Here's Butler trapped. Mid-post, right side, off to Bajensky. A drive and a kick to the corner, 3 ball, and Jonathan Kuminga stays red hot. His first 3 of the night. He's got 17 points. He's 8 for 8 from the field. 65-58. He needs more attention at the offensive end of the floor from this Wolves defense. And a drive, a kick out to Randall. They move it to DiVincenzo. Corner 3 on the way is good. And Dante has got his shooting touch back. He's 3 of 5 from long range. 5:50 left to go in the third, 68-58. Wolves with 11 made threes, the Warriors with 6. It was 18-5 in favor of Golden State in game 1.
I suggest somebody guard Jonathan Kuminga.
Bajemski, bounce pass, Green goes down the lane to the rim, off glass, too strong, rebound tapped up by Butler, no, Ant with the rebound. Ant hit ahead, here's Julius Randle in the front court right side. Takes the handoff to Ant. Now Nas runs through. Julius down the lane, out to McDaniels in the corner. Goes inside the arc, now steps back on the 3. It's not really Jaden's game, and Bajemski pulls down the rebound. Brandon Bajemski on the move against Ant. Into the paint, stops, kicks out, throws it right to Jaden McDaniels. His second steal of the night. He steps through on Green. The layup with the left hand is good. That's Jaden McDaniels' game. The steal, the breakaway, and the score. Wow. Wolves are up by 12 with 5 to play in the third.
Amazing take that time. First of all, Bajemski just threw it to Jaden, standing on the perimeter, but he takes it against 2 defenders that time, went right at Draymond Green and Buddy Hield and scored it with the left hand. That's the second time now Jaden has attacked the basket, finished with his left hand.
Timberwolves basketball tonight brought to you in part by Eclipse. Want to arrive at a Timberwolves game in your very own limo? Just contact Eclipse Transportation. You can make reservations by going to eclipsecars.com. That's eclipsecars.com. Timberwolves basketball also brought to you in part by Travel South Dakota. It's time to put routine at the end of the bench because you deserve to disconnect from the ordinary and connect to the ones who matter most. Discover endless reasons to pack your bags at TravelSouthDakota.com. 70-58, the Wolves lead by 12 past the midway point of this third quarter.
Biggest lead for the game for Minnesota in this game has been 22. So as I said, this Minnesota and Golden State has been chasing that same 13-0 run that Minnesota started the game with, Alan.
Yeah. It's been basically even since that. Jaden, by the way, has 3 steals. I said he had 2. He's also got 3 blocks, 14 points. He's a hefty plus 12. Rudy's a plus 12 with 9 rebounds in this game. And Anthony Edwards, despite not looking 100%, he has just not had an impact here in the second half, but he remains on the floor.
Wolves and
he's a plus 10.
Wolves and Warriors kind of leveled up here points to the paint wise too, which Minnesota dominated in game 1. I mean 52-28, but Golden State made all those threes. Minnesota with a 2-point advantage, 28-26 in the paint.
Warriors will bring it up here out of the timeout. They get Pat Spencer into the game. Hand off to Jimmy Butler. Trace Jackson-Davis back out there. Kuminga is off the floor. Gary Payton is out there. Butler spins at the elbow, gets it off to Jackson-Davis, right back to Butler, working against Antoff, 2 on the fallaway. It's short, rebound. Ant at battles Butler for it, saving and lost along the sideline to Julius Randle. Terrific play. Here's Randle up in the front court from right to left. It's a must-win game 2 for the Wolves. Dante pops on a 3. It's online, but short. Nas battling for the rebound. He dives to the floor. He saves it. And a loose ball foul will go against Golden State. How about the hustle of number 11? Nas Reed if you need him.
Right, how many times have we seen Nas make a play like that too, along that baseline in that very same spot? A number of times this year, he has made those extra effort plays, and that's exactly what you need to win a ball game.
How important is game 2 when you lose game 1 on the home floor? Well, teams are 30-5 all-time in 7-game series when the home team loses the first 2 games on their floor. The Wolves did that to Denver last year. Here's Ant stepping through in the lane, runs up the shot. Oh, it didn't drop, but he got contact. He'll go to the free throw line against the man who landed on his ankle back in the second quarter, Trace Jackson-Davis.
Minnesota has maintained an advantage in second chance points. So a 13-5 advantage so far. He has a chance to add to that here.
And grimacing a bit as he's walking around after that drive. He is clearly not 100%. Of course, however the rest of this game goes, then you worry about afterwards when the adrenaline stops and things start to tighten up.
Now, one thing I know for sure is this training staff has done a great job day in and day out with this team.
Randle, an offensive rebound out to Dante. He missed the 3. Ant mistimed the leap for the rebound, and Jimmy Butler controls.
He got up on that mistimed jump,
he
though.
Did. I guess his ankle's feeling all right there. Here's Butler to the right side and Spencer. Pat Spencer will bring it out. He is 6'2", 200 pounds, second year out of Northwestern. A whistle and a foul. It'll be charged to Dante DiVincenzo. So the Wolves are 8-9 all-time in game 2s. But on their home floor, they are 5-1. So they have had some success on the home floor. They have not had success when they lose a game 1 in the series. Whether it's a 5-game or a 7-game series, they're 1-11 all-time when losing game 1. Their only win in a series came against Sacramento in the second round in 2004. Trace Jackson-Davis off the inbound to Moody, right wing, working against McDaniels. Moody will pull up on a high-arcing 3. It wasn't even close. Jaden Julius takes it out here. Up ahead. Jaden rocks the rim with 2 hands.
Boy, has Jaden ever come alive here in the second half. Defensively, he's been shut down. Offensively, productive.
Butler across the free throw line, drops it back out to Payton. Now to Butler up top against McDaniels. And right side, pass deflected by Dante, goes into the backcourt. Jimmy scoops it up with 5 on the shot clock. Off the Payton screen, but he used up his dribble. Left side, here is Moody. He's got to make something happen again. He's going to fire up back-to-back air balls.
Crowd is into it now.
Boy, Moody has just, in 12 minutes, has no points. He's 0 of. He won't get a missed shot there. It's a shot clock violation. 13 turnover on Golden State.
He's been under a lot of duress. I think the players feel and see the blood in the water right now with that guy. Don't give him any confidence. Third 24-second shot clock violation of the game. That's 9 in 2 games.
Nikhil with it up top off to Randall, wing left. Starts to back down his man, Jackson Davis. Powers in, now kicks out. Nikhil up top, pump fakes, moves to his left, fires on the triple and hits! Second 3 of the night for Nikhil. 76-58, it's an 11-0 Timberwolves run. And the Warriors throw it away at the offensive end. Another turnover, their 14th of the game.
This is more like Timberwolves basketball now.
The Wolves have withstood the run the Warriors had to begin the third, and the Wolves have pushed the lead back to 18 after it got down to 12.
Nikhil's so good with the electric slide.
Got down to
too.
7. What am I talking about?
Nikhil's so good with the electric slide, though, the pump fake and the escape dribble.
Nikhil off the Randall screen, left to the lane, to the mid-post, bounces it back out, top of the key. Here's Randall against Pat Spencer. Back to Nikhil, he'll fire in the corner on the 3 ball. It's offline, and Spencer has the rebound for the Warriors.
Great screen by Dante to free up Nikhil that time on that corner 3.
Pat Spencer with it, drives down the lane, out to Jackson Davis, works on Randall inside, bumps, backs, now dumps it off. Baseline looking for Payton. It was a poor pass. Payton had his knee get in the way of his hands. Ricocheted right out of bounds.
15th turnover of the game for this Golden State Warriors team. Minnesota with just 9.
6 turnovers of those 15 coming here in the third quarter. Nikhil runs around the Randall screen, spins on Jackson Davis, up for the shot. No, Jackson Davis may have recovered and got a piece of that. Here's Kuminga back in the game. Butler's on the bench. Draymond Green out there as well. Payton right side, Jackson Davis posting up on Randall, out to Kuminga, who has not missed tonight. A perfect 8 for 8. Couple of dribbles to the baseline, he'll settle for the pull up 2, and there's his first miss of the night, but it's followed up by Jackson Davis, who timed his leap well, caught it, banked it in on the putback.
The other guy that's perfect from the floor too, like he's 4 for 4, Trace Jackson Davis. He's the other guy that's accounting for all the bench points for Golden State.
Randall, a lob inside, it makes the catch and lays it in on the weak side. He had the height advantage over Pat Spencer, just 6'2". Great feed from Randall.
How about the 10th assist?
Oh, a lob from Draymond and the throwdown by Jackson Davis.
That was athletic.
Trace Jackson Davis in 14 minutes, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 5 shooting. Right side, Randall tries a 3, it's off the back iron. Jackson Davis with a rebound. Here come the Warriors, down by 16, up in the front court. Draymond Green initiates the offense. Draymond tonight, 5 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Whistle stops play, and a foul is called against the Timberwolves. Will go against
Dante DiVincenzo.
Tony Brothers was signaling 0-0. We don't have one of those. Jonathan Kuminga is 0-0, but not wearing the right uniform for that. Kuminga will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
How about Julius Randle with that lob to Ant, gets his 10th assist of the game. He's got a double-double now, 16 and 10. He's also got 6 rebounds, so triple-double watch for Julius.
Julius has 14 career triple-doubles, but those are all in the regular season.
He's accounted for 27 points with his assisting, and 7 of those assists have been for 3. So
free throws for Kuminga. He hits them both. He's up to 18 points. Nope, he hit 1 out of 2. He's 1 for 4 at the free throw line. Nikhil looking right, but comes back left. Dante has it. Free throw line extended to Randall. He'll start to back down Jackson Davis, 10 to shoot, across the lane. Kick out Nikhil up top. 1 dribble off the Dante wing left. He'll take a run to the rim, hang, drops it off for Randall. Tough catch, but he makes it, and then lays it up and in over Guy Santos and Trace Jackson Davis. 18 points, 10 assists, 6 boards for Julius Randle. Wolves by 17. Another turnover forced. Nas gets the steal and the recovery. Back out, it comes to Nikhil. Left angle 3, drops it in. So Dante and Nikhil each with 3 threes here tonight. Both have been struggling mightily from beyond the arc. 20-point lead reestablished, 83-63. Here's Draymond Green, a lob inside looking for Jackson Davis, and a whistle stops play. Julius went for the steal, didn't get it. And a foul is called.
Trace Jackson Davis was a really good college basketball player at IU, Indiana. Wasn't much of a perimeter jump shooter, but one thing he was very athletic, so good in post-up opportunities, excellent offensive rebounder, but shooting was not one of his things as he bricks the first free throw. 7 turnovers for Golden State in the quarter. Minnesota with 11 points of those turnovers.
One more free throw coming for Jackson Davis. He missed them both. The rebound, Kuminga fighting for it in the corner. He's got it, saves it off the Jackson Davis, who drives in and dunks it. Now, that's one thing Jackson Davis can do. He can score inside. He may not be able to shoot, but uses his size and body well. Here's Randall wing left, the drive on Jackson Davis. He scores it for 2, up with the left hand. And Draymond Green fires at the end of the third quarter. That's off glass, off rim. That
almost went in.
Would have counted had it gone. But the Wolves lead by 20. I thought that was a big response after Golden State had momentum early in that third quarter.
Yeah, they cut it to 7, and then all of a sudden Minnesota makes a run of their own.
20-7 to close the third quarter. Up 20, going to the fourth next in Game 2 on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
As a business owner, you understand the importance of protecting your reputation, workplace, employees, and financial assets. Our team is ready to help yours by creating a custom lineup of industry-specific coverages and risk management service to help you stay at the top of your game. Contact your local Federated representative for more information today. Federated Insurance. It's our business to protect yours. Rated A+, superior by AM Best Company.
Searching for your next night out? The Lynx are bringing the energy all season long.
Here's Collier going to work again in the paint.
Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit lynxbasketball.com/tickets and get to our house for the biggest moments.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
The NBA playoffs have arrived, and if you're not in the building, you're missing out.
Up top, and he'll take off down the lane. He'll throw it down with the right hand.
Feel the energy, ride the run. Grab your playoff tickets right now at timberwolves.com/playoffs.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
12 minutes up on the scoreboard. Fourth and final quarter about to get underway. The Timberwolves trying to even this best-of-7 series at a game apiece. They lead the Warriors by 20, 85-65. And they have figured some things out against this Warriors team, something Rudy Gobert touched on after Game 1 of how Golden State forces you to play a certain way.
I think they push you to mentally work. And if you're not mentally ready, they take advantage of that. And it's by running the actions with a lot of pace and a lot of purpose, and that's the thing. Like, it requires us to be more locked in, and sometimes we get a little too excited. Sometimes we don't stay solid, and against that team, you pretty much have to force them to make the mistakes, and by being solid and consistent on taking away the things you want to take away.
I like that comment from Rudy Chip Peterson, because I think it is the way Golden State plays mentally. You have to be strong with the way you play, with what you do offensively, defensively, taking care of the basketball, all those things.
Yeah, they're well coached, and they're a different team. This is not the Warriors of Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. This is a different team that wins a different way. They win with defense. making plays on the edges, but this has been the best defensive team since Jimmy Butler came to Golden State.
Here's Nas inside. He was looking to lob it to Rudy. It was well played by Draymond Green, who sniffed it out, got his hand to it, knocked it out of bounds. Boy, that would have brought down the house.
How about, I mentioned scoring being so important for Minnesota, but all 8 players that Minnesota played in that third quarter, everybody scored.
Balance. Wolves have it to begin the fourth. Right to left. Nikhil and Dante in the backcourt together. Here's Ant. Takes a run at Kuminga. He'll go opposite corner to Nas. Now at the angle, Dante. Dribble drive into the paint. Now to Nikhil left angle. 2 to shoot. Nikhil fades on a tough 2. It's short. Wolves use the entire shot clock. They had good driving and passing.
They did. He had to shoot that. He had to shoot it. Shot clock was winding down.
Just a better possession by Golden State defensively. Green takes the lob inside from outside the three-point line by Podziemski, and Green scores it for 2. 85-67 as the Wolves bring it up. Ant has not come off the floor in the second half. Came back from the injured left ankle. Nas open left side. 3 ball's going to come up short. Rebound tapped out. Kuminga lobs it up ahead. Here's Butler. Steps through in the lane on 2 defenders. Lobs it back out to Pat Spencer. Right wing Kuminga. Now Buddy Hield. You always got to be worried about Buddy getting hot. Here's Draymond up top, straight away on the 3. That's well short to the left. The rebound goes right out of bounds. Timberwolves basketball.
They've done a nice job of chasing Buddy Hield on the court. He's just 3 of 10 in the game. Doesn't have 9 points, but Wolves have done a nice job pressuring him.
Helps when you don't have to chase Steph Curry all over the floor.
Exactly right.
Here's Anthony Edwards up top against Podziemski. Right-handed dribble blows by him. His pass deflected, comes off the glass. Rudy catches it and dunks.
Was that a pass off the glass?
That's an assist, Jim.
Yes.
I don't know if he'll get it, but the Wolves will take it. Back up by 20, 87-67. Draymond lobs it inside. Butler with a catch. Up on Rudy. He knew Gobert was compromised defensively. Now Butler's hunched over along the baseline. He will shoot 2. I mean, Butler's so smart there. He knows that Rudy is still on the move and in a bad position. You know that contact is coming. Doesn't make you feel any better, I imagine, but he goes to the free throw line. Butler 2 for 3 at the free throw line tonight.
He did get hit in the back of the neck as he went up, and Rudy did hit him with the elbow a little bit, but he overplayed that a little bit as he bricks the first free throw again.
Jimmy overplayed? Any kind of contact?
How about Warriors 9 of 16 from the free throw line?
56%. Wolves are at 57%. What is going on with the free throw shooting tonight?
Fans are looking for chicken here.
Free throw is good. Jimmy's anti-chicken. 90 seconds gone here in the fourth quarter. The Wolves lead by 19. It's 87-68. They've led throughout this game. Nikhil zips it left side. Here's Nas Reed. On a drive, out to Ant, goes up high to pull it down and feed Nikhil, who goes down the lane, sets up Nas in the corner, in front of his own bench. He buries the 3.
I got to tell you,
his third 3 of the night. Dante, Nikhil, Nas, all with 3 threes.
Good to great. That's what that pass was.
Yep. Jimmy got stripped inside, but he gets the ball back. Open in the corner, Kuminga, he pump fakes the 3. He saw Edwards. Now Draymond Green. Hand off to Kuminga. He'll stop. He'll pop on the triple try. Off the back iron, no. So Kuminga has cooled off. He's missed 2 in a row after hitting his first 8 shots. And across the timeline off the Gobert screen. And the free throw line got run into from behind. Kuminga's call for the foul. Draymond will help him up. That's the second time Draymond's been nice to Anthony Edwards.
He was nice to him in game 1 as well. There were a couple
that was
plays.
The other one.
Yeah.
Sideline out of bounds here with 9:41 to play in the fourth quarter. Trying to head into game 3 Saturday in San Francisco. 7 p.m. tip-off show, 7:30 tip time. Trying to tie it up 1-1 heading into that game. Nikhil, good drive to the corner. Dante fading out of bounds. He threw up an air ball. Buddy Hield has it fall right into his lap. Now Green with a head of steam against Gobert. Lowers the shoulder. Layup is good. Soft touch for Draymond. He had a ton of steam going. I didn't think there was much chance. That one went clang off the backboard, ricochet all the way to the three-point line.
Just his 3rd field goal of the game.
Here's Ant with it against Kuminga. Likes the matchup. Drives in. Double clutches up off glass. He got this one to drop. That's a dozen points for Anthony Edwards. It's been tough shooting. 4 of 10 tonight. But he puts the Wolves back up by 22, their largest lead of the game.
And has been rebounding at a high rate. He's got 8 rebounds and 4 assists in the game.
And had 14 rebounds to lead the Wolves in game 1.
Yeah.
He's been an absolute monster on the glass. Draymond sets up Jimmy. Beyond the arc, guarded by Nikhil, 6 to shoot. Back to Buddy. Open look at a 3. He's not missing that. Buddy Hield on wide open threes in the postseason, 44%. He got free on that one.
Forget what a great scorer he was in college, too, in Oklahoma. Coming out of college, he was a big-time three-point shooter.
Here's Ant, bounce the baseline. Rudy against Jimmy Butler, now lobs it back out, threw it away. Buddy Hield with a steal. On the run against Naz Reid. He'll stop, he'll pop. Left side three, in and out. No, Pajemski soars in for the rebound and puts it back up and in with a left hand. 92-75. It's a 17-point Wolves lead with 8:11 left to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Nickeil, pressure, just crossing midcourt. Finally gets it to Ant. Edwards against Kuminga, left side of the floor. Hand check by Kuminga, they let that go, and now Ant drives, and Buddy swipes down. He came off of Nickeil to try to get the steal, and the foul was called. Ant thinks he should be shooting. Will be sidelined out of bounds. 2 team fouls against the Warriors here in the quarter, 1 against the Wolves. Jaden and Julius check in. Rudy and Dante sit down. Wolves have gone with their 8-man rotation tonight. And Nickeil only played 14 minutes in game 1. Gets 21 minutes tonight. He's responded. 13 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Inbound, Ant will feed it to Nickeil. Pressure by Pajemski. 10 on the shot clock. Wolves up by 17. They're working from right to left on the home floor. Down the lane, up with the left hand. Nickeil's feeling it tonight. 6 of 10 from the field, getting 15 points for the game. 94-75. Timberwolves shooting 49%. They've knocked down 42% of their threes. Butler wing right, rejects the Jackson Davis screen. Gets down the lane. That's an easy soft dunk for Jimmy, who's been around long enough to know that he doesn't have to put on a highlight reel dunk. Counts just the same. He softly lays it in. And dribbles into a straightaway 3. Nope, off the back iron. Jaden with an offensive rebound. Back to Ant. On the season, that's been the hot spot for Edwards. That straightaway 3. Ant on the hunt, down the lane, runs it up. Off glass, no, but contact from Jackson Davis.
I don't know. You could put a compilation of Ant misses at the rim together in these first 2 games, and you'd be amazed at the number of shots. He missed 7 layups in game 1. All those shots, Alan, we talked about this too as it was happening during the game. All the restricted area shots that he took, all of his shots were in the painted area, inside the restricted area.
And Golden State's called a timeout. They're going to challenge that call. And with 7:11 left to go in the fourth, we'll step aside from Target Center. With the Wolves in front by 17, it's 94-77 on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go a walk in the park with the new Ford Explorer. Become the MVP of the work site with the unrivaled performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America. Or discover what it really means to adventure in the great outdoors with a new Bronco Sport. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
When it comes to watching the game, it's always nice to sit and savor a delicious snack. And Jack Link's protein snacks always hits the shot. Jack Link's beef jerky is made with 100% beef that's simply seasoned in hardwood smoke to deliver a mouth-watering, flavorful, good source of protein, convenient snack. Jack Link's, the official protein snack of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Hey Timberwolves fans, ready to score big with Wolves gear without breaking the bank? Let me introduce you to Sezzle and the Pay in 4 program. With Sezzle, you can split your payments into 4 easy, interest-free installments on all your Wolves purchases. From jerseys and hoodies to courtside seats, Sezzle has got you covered. Wherever you shop, however you rep the Wolves. Download the Sezzle app and get started today. Sezzle, the official jersey patch sponsor of the Timberwolves. Subject to approval, see terms and conditions at Sezzle.com.
Hey Wolves fans, it's Rosie from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, your home comfort MVPs since 1930. Just like the Timberwolves bring the heat on the court, we keep your home in perfect condition all year long. We're proud to sponsor the Timberwolves this season. Let's go Wolves! Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Call or visit standardheating.com since 1930.
left to go in the fourth quarter. Timberwolves lead the Warriors 94-77, trying to close this out and tie the series at a game apiece. On the tip-off show before Game 1, I asked Chris Finch, head coach of the Wolves, about Buddy Hield and some of his big games against the Wolves this season and how important he was in this series, kind of as an X factor behind Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green.
Yeah, he's definitely a huge factor in this series. I wouldn't say X factor. We got to keep him under control. We've got to do a good job of limiting in his open looks. We know he usually scores in runs, and those runs come in the middle of their runs. And that's just, an added bonus to everything else they got going on.
So in Game 1, Buddy Hield got loose for 24 points. 22 of those came in the second half. He hit 5 threes. He was a plus 22. Here tonight, Buddy Hield just 12 points, 3 threes. A couple of those have come here in the second half, but he's a -5 during his time on the floor. Obviously not having Steph Curry on the floor. Well, most of his damage came when Steph Curry wasn't on the floor anyway in Game 1.
Yeah.
But the Wolves have paid much better attention to Buddy Hield tonight.
You're burying the lead because while you've been doing your job and being professional playing sound bites, Super Dave catches a T-shirt during the timeout. And we just literally had the conversation before the timeout. I was like, I'm catching a T-shirt. And Engineer Mike and I both stood up. Dave sat down. But when I sat down, Dave stood up. He catches a T-shirt. I was prophetic.
Listen, I have questions.
You think it's overrated?
You are a popular guy in this building. When you stand and wave toward the T-shirt people, half of them down there. They see you. They're aiming for you. It's all of a sudden a magnet.
It was just amazing to see Dave catch that T-shirt, man. Good for you, Dave.
96-77. What a big moment for at Superstats, Dave.
That's right. Goodness. And then gave it to a kid down below. Love that.
I mean, it just adds to the story. And then he went on to great things to become a world leader. Who knows what? Kuminga on a drive here into the paint, out to Podziemski, left side 3. He drops that one in. Brandon Podziemski. First 3 of the night. Wolves done a nice job on him. 11 points, 1 of 4 from distance. 96-80. It's a 16-point game with 6:41 left to play. Handoff, Randall to down the lane, out to Ant in the corner. Lines up the 3 and buries it. Boy, Ant has been money on his catch-and-shoot threes. He's now 9 of 16 in the postseason.
15-35 for Minnesota from outside the arc.
Ant struggled on his pull-up threes, but the catch-and-shoot opportunities, of which there have been many in the postseason, he has been 8 of 16, 50%, 9 of 16, even higher, 55%.
Minnesota winning that three-point battle significantly in this game. So just 8 of 26 for Golden State in this game.
Ant has 7 of his 17. Coming here in the fourth quarter. The Wolves, it hasn't been just the last 2 games either. Their three-point shooting, which has struggled. It's been since Game 1 when they were 21 of 42. Well, since Game 2, they were shooting 25% over the next 5 games. Jackson Davis going in for the dunk, and Dante's not going to let anything happen easily. He commits the foul. Jackson Davis will have to earn it at the free throw line, where he's 1 of 3.
I mean, that's the kind of play you got to make in that situation. I mean, don't let that guy that can't shoot just get an easy dunk and build his confidence. Dante makes him pay for that play as well. I mean, that was a physical, athletic play by Dante DiVincenzo to get back in that play to knock it away.
Golden State has 31 bench points, and they've come from 2 players, Jonathan Kuminga and Trace Jackson Davis. Yeah. They've combined to shoot 14 of 16 from the field. They combined to shoot 3 of 8 at the free throw line, however. Jackson Davis hits a pair here, now 4 of 9 combined. So he's got 15, Kuminga 18. But those are the kind of performances Steve Kerr's going to need without Steph Curry going forward for at least the next 2 games.
Right.
High post, it's Julius Randle. Bounce pass to Nikhil, right through his hands and out of bounds.
Split action that time on the top by Minnesota. Julius at the top of the circle, and Nikhil and Jaden did a great job of screening for each other.
Here's Jackson Davis, wing right in front of the Warriors bench. Butler flashes free in the lane, swings it to the opposite corner. Kuminga, the 3-ball off the heel, no. And the rebound, Podziemski. He's bottled up down low, dives to the floor, and calls a timeout. So Golden State using a couple of timeouts here in the fourth. They'll have 1 left over the final 5:43. We step aside from Target Center. You're listening to Minnesota Timberwolves basketball.
Incubus, live. Performing the album Morning View in its entirety, plus the hits. Saturday, July 5th, the Treasure Island Amphitheater. With special guest Manchester Orchestra. On On sale now at TICasino.com. Don't miss Incuba's performing morning view in its entirety, plus the hits.
Hello, this is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Now through June 2nd, we have a great selection of Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, and more.
Right, your summer starts here. I'm a pet sitter, and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas. Stop, Sebastian. Goldie is not dinner. Right, your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go places.
Alex Leibold here in our NBA Tonight studios with our final scoreboard update brought to you by our local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go back to Boston where the New York Knicks won Game 2 over the Celtics in Boston, 91-90, just a 1-point win after coming back from a 20-point deficit for the second straight game, The Knicks come back to capture the victory. Jason Tatum had just 13 points with 14 boards and 5 assists in this game. And afterwards, he spoke about how the playoffs can be an emotional roller coaster, and they have to try and stay positive if they want to see their way through the series.
The playoffs is like an emotional roller coaster. You can't get too excited or too down on yourself from game to game. The really good teams don't do that. So. Look in the mirror, understand that we put ourselves in this position. What has already happened has happened, and the only thing that we can't control is Thursday in Game 3, and it's going to be a good one.
Game 3 for the Knicks and Celtics on Saturday at 2:30 at Madison Square Garden. Let's head back into the Target Center with Alan and Jim.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. 5:43 left to go in the fourth quarter. 99-82. The Timberwolves lead by 17 points. It's been a big night for the Wolves bench. The three players, Dante, Naz, Nickeil, they've all knocked down 3 threes. In fact, they've combined to shoot 9 for 21 from downtown. And Nickeil in particular, it's been a struggle here in the postseason, but he may have unlocked something here tonight.
The more that I stress it, the more that I worry about finding it, the more that I get in my head about, what do I need to do to get it going, the further I get to actually doing so. I understood, and I had read like a little Bible sermon, and it just kind of talked about having an opportunity and having talent, so to speak, is all God-given blessing. So. He takes and he gives, like in the book of Job, but I've learned to stay faithful and trust my game. I come in every day, get on the table by 7:30, do my treatment, shoot, come back, lift, shoot again. So nothing's changed on my end. Just waiting on the ball to go in. Anytime now would be nice, but just gotta keep doing my thing. So.
Big night for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. 15 points, 3 assists, 6 of 10 shooting in 23 minutes. He's a +4 during his time out there. Good things happen to good people, and Nickeil's one of the good people.
He really is, and you and I were talking about this before Game 1, is that the body language part of it is really important, and Nickeil did not have good body language in that Lakers series and in Game 1, so I think he changed his mindset. It's paid dividends.
Jimmy Butler, open left side corner 3, no good, and a loose ball foul against Trace Jackson-Davis. Nice box out by Nickeil, who draws that foul on Jackson Davis. The Wolves will take control, up by 17 with 5:34 left. McDaniels in, Nickeil Alexander-Walker out. And has not come off the floor in the second half. I mean, you got to think that ankle is better to keep him out there, keep warm. That thing would tighten up like it's going to after the game, so no sense in speeding up that process. Here's the going to work inside, got fouled by Jimmy Butler. And that will be the 15th foul on Golden State, so free throws coming up for Anthony Edwards. The Wolves will shoot free throws the rest of the way. Now they got to make some. They're 10 of 16 tonight.
I mean, it's one thing for Ant to be playing these minutes and, Chris Finch deciding, but I don't think Anthony Edwards wants to come out of the game. I think it's mostly Ant's choice.
Great to hear that yell. I have learned through the year that that yell is always a good thing.
Yeah.
It took a while because you think that's offline. Maybe looking at something, you hear
That's your instinct anyway,
yes.
for sure.
That one was long. You didn't hear the yell there. Podziemski comes down with the rebound. It's 100-82. Remember, the Wolves managed just 88 points in Game 1. They've got 100 tonight. They've knocked down 15 threes while the Warriors have just 8. They went -13 at the three-point line, and Game 1. That's 39 points. Buddy Hield, a pull-up straightaway 3, and he hits it under duress. Buddy has knocked down 4 threes tonight. He's up to 15 points, 100-85. Here's Nas setting up Julius Randle, wing right against Buddy Hield. Little jab step to the baseline and starts to back him down to the mid-post, across the paint, runs it up with the left hand, got it! 22 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds for Julius Randle. 17-point Wolves lead.
He's been dominant in this game for sure.
9 of 16 shooting. Buddy Hield, quick catch and shoot, right side 3, air ball, put up. And Julius Randle has his 7th rebound. 3 more would give him his first career postseason triple-double. And with it right side, picked up by Jackson Davis, beats him off the dribble. Rises up in the lane, finger roll at the rim. He got it. That's 20 for Anthony Edwards. 104-85. Wolves look to put away Jimmy Butler and the Warriors. The 3 ball from Jimmy. No, Ant's got the rebound. Hit ahead. Randle's ahead of the field. Breakaway, 2-headed slam dunk. The Wolves now lead by 21 with just over 4 minutes left. Timeout Golden State, and that might do it. 4:03 left. We'll see if Steve Kerr pulls the plug and surrenders in Game 2. The Wolves needed this in a big way. 30-5, that's the record in 7-game series when the higher seed loses the first 2 games at home. The opponent, the road team, is 30-5. The Wolves don't want to fall into the same category as the Boston Celtics, who are down 2-0 to the Knicks, losing both games at home, or the Cleveland Cavaliers, who lost both games at home to the Indiana Pacers. 106-85, a plus 21 with 4 minutes left to play. Fans, the playoffs are underway, and there's still time to catch games live in person here at Target Center. Lock in your postseason tickets right now, timberwolves.com/playoffs. Timberwolves basketball also brought to you in part by U.S. Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves, and by Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Book your stay now at TICasino.com. 15 made threes to 9, so a +6 at the three-point line tonight in Game 2 after a -13 in Game 1. That's made a big difference. So Steve Kerr will in fact pull the plug. Butler, Green, Hield, Podziemski all out. Chris Finch will do no such thing. He's gone with his 8, and he will likely go to the finish line, or at least the next couple of minutes with this 8. Pat Spencer has it. Braxton Key is out there. Kevin Knox, Moses Moody, Key Santos. Knox to the baseline. Pull up 2 over Nikhil, no, over Jaden, and he got it. 106-87. Timberwolves lead by 19.
There's not a lot of guys that come out of Kentucky that can't end up playing if they make the NBA. Knox has been one of them.
Julius Randle, another Kentucky guy, out to Nikhil. Right side 3, he rattles that one in, his 4th triple of the night in 6 tries. 109-87, Nikhil is back. And Nikhil commits the foul on Pat Spencer and helps him up off the floor. And now Chris Finch will empty the bench with 3:21 to play. Standing ovation for the guys coming off the floor. Josh Minot on, TJ Shannon on, Jalen Clark on. Dante and Nikhil stay on the floor. Warriors from left to right here with 3:18 left to play. Spencer bangs with Minot to the mid-post. Kick out to Knox, catch and shoot 3 on the way. Off window, off iron, no. And the Timberwolves have the rebound. Now a timeout has been called by Chris Finch. Kevin Knox, 3+ years in New York, and the last 4 years he's played 125 games combined with Atlanta, Detroit, Portland, Detroit again, and now Golden State. All right, 3:10 to go. Wolves have this one wrapped up. They lead by 22. They've done pretty much exactly what they needed to do here in Game 2 to even the series.
Yeah, they've come back confidently, and it got started right away too. I mean, think about Mike Conley knocking down a 3. Jaden was involved right away. Julius Randle's been completely dominant in this game too. He's been the best player on the floor for both teams. I mean, Julius 10 of 17. He's got 3 for 3 from the line. He does have 7 rebounds, 11 assists though. It's the way that he's got other people And those 11 assists, Alan, how many of those have been for three-point shots? I mean, it's at least 7. I think it could be 8, but he's accounted for a lot of scoring for Minnesota tonight in this game.
It's good to see Julius have this kind of game. His game is built for playoff basketball, even though he has not fared well in his 2 previous trips to the postseason. They were a number of seasons ago. In one of them, he wasn't quite healthy. But he has had monster postseason games. And heading into tonight, he was averaging 22 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Those numbers are only going up after tonight.
I mean, that 11 assists right there is a season high for him, too. So as much as he's been diming this year for Minnesota, and it's really one of the reasons why they made that trade is they felt like Julius was made for the playoffs, and his game was predicated on passing the basketball and being a better passing player than Karl-Anthony Towns.
Here's Nikhil inside, missed 2 shots at the rim.
Point blank.
And Braxton Key comes away with the rebound. The 11 assists are a postseason career high for Julius Randle. His prior had been 8. Back in the game with the Knicks against the Miami Heat. Braxton Key lost it up in the air. Josh Minot has got it, trapped on the sideline. He has numbers up ahead. Couldn't find them, now he does. Jalen Clark, right wing. Back to Minot. He'll fire on the 3. It's offline, and Braxton Key has the rebound for the Warriors. 2:30 to go. Key Santos. Off to Moses Moody. On the perimeter, Leonard Miller is into the game. Braxton Key got around TJ Shannon rather easily. TJ thought he was going to go into a shot, and so TJ got pump faked up in the air. Here's Nikhil, foul by Moody coming up the floor.
And that's going to bring Luka Garza onto the floor for Minnesota. Nikhil's going to sit down.
Tremendous night for Nikhil.
Yeah, he should get a nice ovation when he sits down.
18 points, 25 minutes, 4 threes. Well, the Wolves did work on their, it was about 30 minutes of straight just 3-point shooting for everybody. I don't know what Rudy was doing, but he was on one of the other courts. I didn't see him, but he may have been working inside. The one guy.
Oh, he doesn't stop him from shooting threes. He's going to still get threes up.
But that seemed to have done the trick, and there's not much you can do as a coach. All you can do is stress how important it is. We got to start hitting the shots. It's worked tonight, 16 of 37. That's 43%. That's great efficiency. There's good volume there with the 16 makes.
Yeah, it's the 3-point shooting, the points in the paint. They won that battle. Second chance points, won that battle. The bench scoring, boy, Kuminga and Jackson Davis made it. Exactly right. But that was really a big factor in the LA series for sure.
Yes.
The team that won that stat was the one that won the game. So Wolves have done a good job. They've worked so much on transition defense.
It was funny, in game 1, you looked at the box score in the fast break points. It had Minnesota 10, Golden State 6. And Chris Finch kept talking after the game about that. The transition was bad. We didn't win that battle. And I thought, well, 10-6. But then when you look it up on Second Spectrum, or now Genius Insight, they had Minnesota with 8 points in transition. Golden State had 15. And they look at more how the play is developed rather than just the timing on the shot clock, which is how a fast break point is categorized on an NBA box score. So Golden State did win that transition battle in game 1, despite the Wolves technically winning it in the box score, 10-6. 111-90 with under 2 minutes to go. Pressure by the Warriors defense forces a turnover. Moody against Clark down low. Kick out Santos. He got stripped by TJ Shannon. He scoops up the loose ball. It's a race to the rim. TJ, he'll lay it up with the left hand and score for 2. You knew he wanted to throw that thing down, but it was a good contest by Braxton Key and Guy Santos.
That's why you want to see more of Terrence Shannon.
Yeah.
I mean, that play right there is a little microcosm. He gets a steal, and in a dead ball situation where basically everybody's kind of standing still, he picks it up and sprint dribbles down the floor. He's sprint dribbling 3/4 of the way down the floor. And he was right at the break there on the Warriors' shooting end, and he beat everybody down the floor in a sprint dribble. That was amazing.
I think TJ Shannon and Jalen Clark are physically, like, as young guys, both rookies, although Jalen was here last year but didn't play coming off the Achilles injury. They're just so physically impressive being so young. It's not like they're growing into that frame. They come in already with this, at least their physicality already kind of defined. Here's Minot on the move, down the lane, runs it up with the right hand. It swirls around and drops in for 2.
That was a fancy move. That was like Pete Maravich right there, the way he scooped that up into the rim. I mean, he does that. He was doing that today at shoot-around. He was really working those guys as the scout team.
Warriors turned it over at the offensive end. There's 1:22 left to play. It's 115-92. The Wolves about 80 seconds away from evening this series at a game apiece. And we'll see, things get awfully interesting now going to San Francisco for games 3 and 4, Saturday and Monday.
We're going to hold another opponent under 100 points as well.
And the Wolves have done that 4 times, so have the Warriors. The Warriors in the postseason in their 4 games have won all 4 of those. The Wolves have only gone 2 and 2. They'll now go to 3 and 2. The Wolves flexing the defensive muscle tonight. The offensive rating for both teams, I've not checked in on a little bit. A 125 for the Timberwolves, a 99 for Golden State. That will work. That will work. Both teams turning it over here quite frequently in the last couple of minutes. Golden State now has 20 turnovers that the Wolves have turned into 20 points. 35 seconds left to play. Minot fakes the pass, keeps it himself, feeds it to Lenny, who lays it in for 2. Leonard Miller, 117-92, under 30 seconds left. Pat Spencer with it. He'll feed it left side. Quick move into the paint. Braxton Key back out. Kevin Knox, he'll drive, and his layup, no, he crashed into Luka Garza. They both tumbled to the deck, both okay. Kevin Knox will shoot 2.
Pretty sure Chris Finch, does he tie Flip Saunders in playoff wins with this victory?
So he is 16 and 17 all time in the postseason. Free throw is no good for Kevin Knox. It was number 2. I think you might be right.
Flip Saunders has 17 and 30 is what he has playoff-wise. So Flip Saunders has 17 wins. So with this win, Chris Finch equals Flip Saunders. Is that correct?
Absolutely. 17 wins, although he's done it in 13 less games.
Right.
His win percentage is number 1. And he'll be tied for number 1 in wins.
So does that make his history?
Jalen Clark will dribble it out. The Timberwolves an impressive Game 2 victory over the Golden State Warriors, 117-93 to even this best-of-7 series at a game apiece. The Wolves outscored by 39 points at the three-point line in Game 1. They flipped the script. They outscore the Warriors by 21 points at the three-point